selling transmission warranties or your car home warranties and all types of other stuff
Forex
in the
trading.
chat. 4X, all types of other stuff. This is specifically for educating veterans on their VA home loan benefit. Now, if you guys want to become a part of our brand ambassador course, you need to join our Winning Real Estate Facebook group so we can vet you to give business out. Okay, so I want to make that clear. All right, so, but going back to this, okay, I sign up, I raise my hand. Then following that, the next step that I have to do is I need to find a lender that does VA construction loans. I'm going to throw this layup to Patrice. Patrice, why do I have to find a lender that does the VA construction loans?
A couple of reasons. Number one, the lender has to know how to work with the VA loan. Number two, there are additional requirements that the VA has in place for construction loans. So it's a little more cumbersome. And the lender has to be approved and qualified through the VA in order to successfully navigate what the VA construction um, process is. Does
Okay,
that
so
help?
yes, absolutely. And specifically for you guys who don't know, you got to know someone who understands this process because you don't want to get into a situation and put a bunch of money down and then take a L because they don't know what they're doing. Okay, so first step, serve 90 days active duty. Okay, 6 years reserves. Now, I have a question. Anybody can answer this question on stage. What is the only way for a reservist not to be able what is the only way that a reserve person can get over not having to stay in those 6 years and still rate their VA home loan benefit?
They can currently be on active service, at which point in time they'll qualify in there. But there's also, I think it's, I can't remember the number of points, but they have to have rated a certain number of points to be able to use their eligibility. Is that correct?
You're absolutely right, Patrice. Don't be acting like see Patrice be playing, man. Patrice be knowing, but she be acting like she don't know. All right. So make sure you follow Sister Patrice over there in Florida. That's my sister. And for those of you who are just joining the room, I see a lot of new people. Make sure you give my sister Patrice a follow. This is my partner in arms, and she is a military brat. And for those of you who don't know what a military brat is, that means that her family has served in the armed forces. So she's definitely an advocate for veterans. Thank you for pulling up and supporting, like always, Patrice. Thank you. So here's another way. Can anybody, that is right, that you are correct. What is another way that a reservist can negate the 6 years in order to rate their VA home loan benefit? Ian, Jensen,
Got it.
Bruno, what are the other ways that you can get that besides the points?
Okay, so if for instance, if a reservist who had not served his 6 years was received a service-connected disability rating, then they are entitled to utilize the VA loan entitlement.
Service connected disability. Service connected disability. Someone put that in the chat. Okay. Now, is a difficult pregnancy a service connected disability? Yes, no. Put
It
a
should be.
put. No, it's not, Sierra. Okay. I got out because I have migraines. Is that service connected?
It
Yes.
can be if you can show that the migraines are attached to your time in service.
It yes.
Yeah,
If
really
the
good.
if the military discharged you for migraines, it has to be thoroughly documented in your service record book that you were discharged because of that if you do not meet the obligation. Because here's the deal. Here, a lot of people, and this is a misconception. I want you guys to understand this, and then we're going to get down to the people in the audience for some more introductions. I see Yoshi that pulled up. I see Jake that pulled up, Samantha, and a couple of other people. Okay. All right, so here's the deal, guys. If you are in the armed forces and you get out and you get 100% disability, okay, that means that there's two types of funds. You get funds from serving in the armed forces if you retire, and then you get your disability rating. That's money from a different pot. The money from the disability pot, okay, you could be 100% disabled and got out of the armed forces and not rate your VA loan because your injury was not service connected. The reason why I'm telling you guys this is because a lot of people have misconceptions thinking, oh, he served and he got out because and he is 100% disabled. If it does not say that person on their DD 214, which is a form saying that they served in the armed forces, if they got out and it does not say service connected disabled and you got out with an honorable discharge, you do not rate your VA loan. Okay, here's an example. Service member got out 5 years and 11 months. 5 years and 11 months reserved. She was having a difficult pregnancy. She had issues with pregnancy, so she got out. She didn't obligate her 1 month of time. She's 100% disabled, and she does not rate her VA loan because she did not stay in for 12 months. Now, don't shoot the messenger, but this really, really happens. And guess who gave her that pre-approval? Take a good shot at who gave her that pre-approval. Navy Federal Credit Union. Didn't rate it. Okay. And then we were in escrow. She was in the process of buying a house. Good credit, $200,000 of reserves. Good job making over 6 figures. Her and her husband. And her husband pushed her to get out, and she did not rate that disability, guys. So I know that's a hard truth, but let me reset the room. Guys, you are in the Win in Real Estate Club today. Today, we're going to be talking about the VA Loan Masterclass, and we're going to be talking about the rehab and the VA Construction Loan Explain. We currently got 51 people here. Check this out. If you're in the audience, I would like for you to raise your hand if you're just now joining us. And I want you to come to the stage, because if you're not in the audience, you can't help us grow the room. But if you're on stage, you coming to the stage helps us get people in the room. Also, how do you support veterans today on the Marine Corps birthday? Right now, there's 21. I'm going to set a goal of 300 people visiting the room today. I'm also going to set a goal for 247 shares. I'm going to set it lofty. I know we can do it. So do me a favor. The little box down there at the bottom with the up arrow has 21. You can share it again. Hint, hint, hint. Click that box and put happy birthday Marines in your hallway, and then also ping some people in here, because we're going to be teaching about the VA construction loan. And if you are a civilian, we're going to tell you how you can invest with a veteran. Without further ado, Yoshi, are you there? Brother Yoshi. Okay, we're going to skip Yoshi. Thank you for pulling up, Yoshi. Jake, you want to unmute your mic, introduce yourself?
Hey, good morning, Anthony. Thanks for having me. And I just want to say happy birthday to all the Marines. I myself am an active duty Marine out here in San Diego, California, working alongside Mr. Anthony Renew on the Renew Home Team and Mr. Anthony Glenn. Thanks for having me today.
Outstanding. Outstanding. All right. So thank you for joining us. Samantha, do you have any questions, or do you have any value to add, or how can we help you win in real estate? Samara.
What's going on? I'm Samara Smith. I'm a realtor in Southern California. I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. Say happy birthday to the Marine Corps, and thank you for having me.
Outstanding. Thank you for joining us. Brother Babs, what branch of service do you represent, or how can we help you win in real estate? What questions do you have?
Yes, hi, Anthony. No, I'm supporting the military today, the Marines. So I joined on stage to learn something new, and maybe for I know some of my friends that are in the military, or that were in the military, or veterans. So whatever information I learned today, I'll like to share that with them. Thanks.
Outstanding. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting. We really appreciate you. Brother 10K in the building. Let's go. 10K, what's up, man?
You know, with an introduction like that from an authentic brother like Anthony, how can you go wrong having to bring the energy? Anthony, man, look, I just want to say thank you, brother. And if you're looking for one undercover healing brother, that's going to be Anthony Glenn. And when I say undercover healing brother, Anthony is more spiritually healing to everyone he touched than he promotes out there, guys. So I want to say, Anthony, you're a true blessing to the community and everything you touch. I'm so happy and grateful to be a part of your community. And if there's any way I can add value and I can serve, reach out to me. I am here for it. Also, I want to welcome Anthony, which is your brother on the second line, for officially becoming a family member of 10K Cards. And we are now working on the rest of the team. A lot of
Let's
people
go.
cap
Let's
on the
go.
app, Anthony. A lot of people cap, but I tested you. You put a word out there and you lived up to it. Both Anthony, that is. With that said, back to you, Anthony.
Outstanding. And you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Bridging the gap, like, look, man, it's hard. I don't understand, if we're supposed to be in God's image, then why are we not healing and supporting and building people up, right? I feel like, if you have a platform, you should be using it to build people up and not tear people down. I want to give a special shout out to 10K, for specifically having a room that had the Jews and the African Americans talking in regard to Kyrie Irving and what's going on. I mean, from a political standpoint and just from a healing standpoint, I think, having the courage to do that, it was big, man. So make sure you guys follow 10K. And guess what? That card, that digital business card at the top that I'm rocking, he built that card. So if you guys are looking to do that, you guys are going to send me the money and then I'll send it to 10K.
There you go. Let's do it.
All right, he charges $10,000 for that card. So I take Cash App, Zelle, members only, whatever however you want to send that to me. Farmers only, Christian mingles. I'll take the money in all forms. All right, let's go. All right, let me get back to it. Let
Still
me quit.
accepting Bitcoin, Anthony? Still accepting Bitcoin?
I ain't taking no damn Bitcoin, man. You out your mind. Greenbacks, cabbage, dollars, man. Let me ask y'all a question right now. If you're on stage right now, what are other ways to save money? Tell us some ways to save money. All right, I'll start with the cabbage. What's another way to say cash?
Moolah.
Cheese,
Moolah, baby.
With
Get
a
that
moolah,
Z.
dinero.
baby.
Get the bread.
Greenbacks.
Greenbacks. Okay, who else got some? Who else got something for the stage?
With my
Benjamin.
Big face
Skrilla.
hundreds.
Big face hundreds. Okay, well, y'all dating yourself, man. You can tell Bruno, man, used to
Big
wear.
face hundreds.
What else? What else? What else? Gwen, Bella, how y'all say money over there? Where y'all from?
You say dinero
You all say dinero. Okay, all right. We
with
say
a southern
kale, cabbage.
with
You
a
know,
southern accent. That's right.
you know, big face dineros. Pamela, man, you look like you got the bag. What you say? What y'all call money, Pamela?
Can you hear me?
Oh, you call it? Can you hear me? That's what y'all call money
No,
over there.
we call it no coins. Get it
The
on
coins.
coins.
Okay, all right. Let's go. The coin. Okay. Who else? Who else? All right, outstanding. Let me get back to it. Sister Ashley, thank you for pulling up. Dr. Ashley V. Wilkerson. The V stands for Vienna sausages because she like to eat them with hot with macaroni and cheese. Uh, 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 Ashley, you want to unmute your mic? Introduce yourself.
Dear
You
God.
are always coming for me. First of all, I've never had those sausages before, but I'm sure they're good, I suppose. And the V stands for Victoria. And why don't you ever pronounce Wilkerson? Wilker. It's an ER in the. Hey y'all,
Ooh.
hey y'all. It's a pleasure to be here in the building. Happy birthday, Marines! Shout out to all the Marines in the building. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you, starting with our top Marine at the top left-hand corner. Thank you, Anthony Glenn, for your service and your leadership. I am the founder and thought leader of the Phenomenal Women Leading Community Network. It is a pleasure to be here with you all today.
Outstanding, and thank you for pulling up, Ashley, and thank you for always supporting. Ian, Ian,
Yeah, that ain't it.
Hey,
Ian.
Ian.
It's two. It sounds like two letters. The letter E,
That is an
letter
inside.
E, letter
I
N.
don't appreciate that. I
Okay,
do not
all right.
appreciate that.
So
Hey,
so listen.
Ian.
So listen. So Ashley is from the deep south. Okay, so the WalMarts over where she's from have dirt floors. Okay, so what happened was she was pronouncing Ian. She was like Ian. I'm like, no, it's Ian. Ian. Can you say Ian, not Ian with a Y? And we was messing with Ashley. Thank you for pulling up, sister. Let me quit messing with you. Let me keep the room going, y'all. Let me keep the room going. So let's get back to the teaching, y'all. We got back to let's get back to the actual teaching. Okay, so first step, veteran serves. Second step, the veteran is going to do what? What's next? Pop quiz. Let me see if y'all picking up what we're putting down. They got to go where?
Finding that lender.
Veteran goes and finds the lender and gets the bag. Now, the lender does have to be certified to do VA construction loans. Now, the next step is going to be what? Who can tell me what the next step after he gets the bag? What's next? Anybody on stage can tell me what the next step is for the veteran using the VA construction loan. If you don't know it, I'm going to teach you, but I'm going to open up the floor so I'm not just running my soup coolers right now. So what's the next step in regard to the VA construction loan?
He's got to
So
find
the
himself, his or herself. He's got to find themselves a VA construction loan builder, certified.
Okay, so Bruno, can you unpack that, please?
Absolutely. So, hey guys, so the next thing you guys are going to do after you find out how much it is you're going to be qualified for is you're going to go and you're going to find a builder. And then when you're talking to that builder, you have to make sure that that builder is eligible to get registered with the VA so that the VA can issue that builder a VA builder number, right? And then that will allow him. And that process is incredibly easy, but we gotta you gotta hit us up for that though.
Okay, so yeah, and basically what he's saying is that following that, the veteran goes and finds that VA. Now, what the VA is going to do, they're going to do some due diligence. That person has to submit their paperwork. Now, the question that I have is, can I be my own builder with the VA construction loan? And the answer is no. Okay, it has to be an outside party because it shouldn't be a conflict of interest in regard to leveraging that VA construction loan. So basically, you find ABC. Pamela, what's the name of your VA construction company? Bella, what's the name of your VA construction company? Bella, are you there?
My VA construction company? What do you mean?
Okay, you have a VA construction company. I'm gonna call you. All right, we're gonna role play real quick. You ready to role play with me?
I'm ready. Is
Okay, ring ring.
hello. This is VA.
Oh hell no, I ain't. Oh hell no, I ain't hiring you, man. What the?
Wait. I was
Come
trying
on,
to
come
make up
on
a
now.
name on this on the fly. This is Fabulous Veterans. Fabulous
give
Veterans
her
of
give
America.
give Bella a heart emoji in the chat for rocking and rolling with me. Thank you, Bella. So I call Bella. I tell her that I want to build a VA construction loan. Then Bella says, "No problem, fam. I got you." She's gonna go to www.va.gov. That's the website. www.va.gov, and she's gonna register to be a certified VA contractor. Okay, and then from there, Bruno, Ian, what happens next? Anthony, anybody can answer. What happens next after I got the bag, right? So follow me. We got the bag, we got the money. The next step is that we got the VA construction contractor. Now what happens? Who can tell me what's next?
So check this out. So this is going to be something that it's like a hidden movement that a lot of people uh, underestimate. So after you find that builder and that builder gets registered with the VA, right? After they contact the VA, they get all the paperwork, they get all that stuff filled out, signed, and submitted. Once the VA approves it, which takes about 3 days or so, you have to make sure that the builder that you have can actually get approved with your lender. So now that builder is going to have to submit a builder packet to the actual lender, because remember, we have overlays, right? So not every lender is willing to lend money to have every contractor actually build a project. So they're gonna have like their own little thing to kind of go through to make sure that that builder has experience in doing projects that are of similar scope, right? But that's the additional vetting that it has. So sometimes you can get a builder that can get VA approved with the VA building number, but that lender may not fly or may not have that builder fly with them and lend to them, which then will lead you to having to find another builder potentially.
Oh, I'm in here pinging it. Let the church say amen. It got quiet up in here, man. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he just gave you guys some game. Make sure you give Bruno a follow. Okay. So far, okay, with everybody on stage, who has a question? Popcorn style. I want to open it up for questioning so far. So first step, veteran serves. Second step, finds the lender. Third step, finds a VA construction person. Fourth step is going to be that person has to make sure that they are certified. the lender and the builder is certified to do the VA construction loan. Okay, who asked questions so far? Anybody? You can open up your mic, ask the question right now.
What level of construction are we talking about? New builds or rehabs or both?
Well, right now we're talking about just the VA construction loan. That means raw land going vertical. Okay. All right. So we're talking about you found land you want to build on. You want to go vertical, building a single family. Now, write this down: building a single family home, a townhome, a condo, a multi unit. You can use the VA construction loan to do it as long as you do what? Anybody can answer. What do I have to do in order for me to get the VA construction loan?
As long as you intend to own or occupy the property, the veteran has to call that place home as his primary residence.
Bing, ding, 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 ding. So going back to this, all right. So the veteran has to intend to own or occupy the property. Okay. The vet has to intend to own or occupy the property. The vet has to intend to own or occupy the property. For those of you who are saying, let me ask you guys a question. If I live in California and I want to do the VA construction loan in Georgia, can I do that? Yes or no? Put a one in the chat if you believe that I can build a property using my VA construction loan from California to Georgia, and put a two in the chat if you think that you can't. Yes, no. What do you think? Okay, we got reside there, one. We got no, we got two. Okay, we got some ones and twos. Come on, y'all, max participation. Some people say one. So some people say yes, yes, yes. I see. All right. Now, for those of you who put two, how can you live in California? I mean, right now, and build in Georgia? Is that possible that I can live in California and build in Georgia? Ian, you want to answer that
Ooh,
question?
let's
Anybody
see,
can answer?
let's see.
What
No,
we
you
got?
cannot do that once. You're gonna get dinged.
But we got ways around it, y'all. We have ways around it, right? So this is one of the things, man, that I'm telling you, like, this is why you guys are coming to this room, is to get the hidden gems, to get the hidden movements, to figure out how to traverse in the gray area and learn how to, you know what I mean, find the little shortcuts. So check this out, man. What a lot of people don't know is that if you let's say this is mainly for active duty people. Okay, so if you're active duty and you're stationed somewhere, right? And let's say you are from Florida, for example, right? If or in Anthony's example, it was what, Georgia, right? That's what he said, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say you're from Georgia, right? Now, I'm stationed here in California. I'm living here because I'm on orders. One of the things that I can do is I can purchase in Georgia, right? And I can send my family to occupy the property there because that will be considered my primary residence because my family will be residing in there. And then the little key thing that's going to happen, right, is because the underwriter is going to potentially red flag it. But you're going to go and you're going to submit a letter that says you have familial ties to the community, right? Now, the spouse is giving their. Now, the only caveat to that and the things that you're going to have to think about is you're going to have to explain how your living arrangements are going to be here while you're stationed. And then obviously, they're going to have to consider the DTI because you're going to have, if you have expenses for where you're living now, and then the places that you're going to be taking the mortgage out on if your family is going to be residing in there. But that's like a golden hidden gem right there.
Ooh, man, if y'all are not picking up what we put in, if y'all are learning something today, I want you to put a firing emoji in the chat for all of the moderators that are chipping in right now. Because right now, listen, I don't want any type of inconsistencies in regard to learning about the VA home loan benefit. And guess what? If you're gonna learn something today, let me reset the room. Guys, you're in the Winning Real Estate Club. Do me a favor. Today is the Marine Corps' birthday. 247 years of fighting to protect the nation. If you're in the audience right now, please raise your hand and come up to the stage. If you're sitting in the audience chilling, we're going to bring all of you guys up we're gonna do something different. Usually, it's more people in the audience than on stage. We want you to raise your hand because what that does is it brings your audience. It lets people know that you're here. You don't even have to speak. But if you support veterans and you want to support veterans, we're going to ask you guys to raise your hands because we want to get to 247. We got 75 years. That stands for 1775. That's when the Marine Corps came alive. Ooh, that was a bar right there, man. I don't know why Jay-Z ain't signed me yet, man. What's going on?
Ooh,
What's going
spitting.
on, man? What is going on? Today, we're teaching you guys how to win with the VA loan. Okay. I want to give a special shout out to Ian, Sierra, Kyler, Anthony, Yoshi, Jake, Bruno, 10K, Sister Ashley, Otis that just pulled up in the building, for Sean that just pulled up, my brothers, Samara, Gwen, Pamela, Miles, Angela, Joy. We see you. The other Joy, Joy. Okay. Viviana, Sasha, my brother Franco. What's up, Franco? Done snuck up in here. Yamaya, Jose, Denver, Carice, Bella, Kevin, Square Biz. We really, really, really appreciate you. We see some people down there in the audience chilling. Tasha looking like she about to sell some houses. Sandra, Betty, Greg. We see all of the people down there in the pews. Okay, you can't come to church without paying your dues. All right, so make sure you deposit some shares. What we're going to ask you guys to do right now, can we get to 50? Right now it's 32 shares. How do you do it? Click that box with the up arrow. And right now I'm asking you guys to share the room. And I want y'all to put happy birthday, Marines, right now. Okay. And then also, for those of you who are sharing, I see some of y'all are following the assignment with C33. We really appreciate you. Let's go. And right now, also ping some people into the room. Right now, there's a plus sign with a ball head next to the clipboard. Ping some people into the room. Now, brother Otis, what's happening, man?
What's up, man? I'm just putting these fires out.
Let's go. Now, for those of you who don't know Otis James, okay, Otis used to have a CD out. Okay, it was called Wave Caps and Do Rags. All right, so it went triple not platinum.
I'm still making
My
payments on the
man.
studio time.
Brother Otis James, brother, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, full-time real estate investor out of the San Francisco Bay Area, licensed real estate broker in Georgia, licensed real estate broker in California, former mortgage broker, multifamily operator, operating over 600 million in multifamily commercial when I left that industry. Did some non-real estate related entrepreneurial stuff. Had a company I started with about 600 bucks, generated seven figures in the short time I had it using an outsourcing business model. Currently spread across about 8 projects, small projects. Property in California where I live, of course, Texas, South Carolina, Michigan, uh, Georgia, Missouri, and I got a bunch of other stuff in the real estate space that I've done, but I'll leave it at that, man. Glad to be in here, bro.
Damn, every time Otis introduces himself, I'm like, golly, man, I gotta go do more, bruh.
Hey, man. Hey, if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have a country to be able to do it in. So y'all are superheroes, man. So don't give me that. I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna push back on that,
Shit,
bro.
you're the superhero too, man.
No, I worked a typewriter, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they started shooting back at us, I was out, bro. I'm running. Like I'm not engaging in that type of stuff, man. You guys are heroes.
Yo, this is awesome, man. I'm telling you guys, man, like having a room like this with people like Otis and everybody else, right? I was just watching something that talks about being around people that you want to be like, being around people that you want to emulate, man. And then when you have people like that come in this space, it really kind of, reassures and like, man, it man drives people to want to do better, man. And so, hey, good looking out, Otis, man. Thanks for coming up here, man.
And,
Amen. Thanks for
and for
having
those
me.
and for those of you who don't know, guys, I myself, along with 12 real estate professionals, took his mentoring and coaching platform to learn how to be a better investor. Okay, so even though I've been investing in real estate for since 1998, I actually took that course to get bigger. So for those of you who are sitting in the audience, chilling and stuff like that, and even if you have a business, show me a person who says, "I know that." That's a person who is failing to grow. Okay. Leadership requires for you to continue to invest in other people, so people are investing in you. So guess what? I took that course to get smarter because my way isn't always the best way. I want to have multiple tools in my toolbox, and what I learned in that course is that I was a hammer and I needed a screwdriver. So Otis gave me the screwdriver. Bruno, I was a hammer, and Bruno gave me the measuring tape. I was a hammer. Ian gave me, the nails. So you cannot grow if you're not being in complementary to other businesses. So just make sure that you guys are raising your hand, learning something today. We're talking about the VA construction loan. We're going to get to it. Does anybody have any questions before we move along? You can ask anything.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is Carice speaking. How you doing today?
We're doing outstanding. What you got?
Awesome. Happy birthday, Marines. So my mother
Hoorah.
lives in Warner Robins, Georgia. That's I know you guys are familiar. That's a good that's the big Air Force base city. She is really connected to the community with the church and stuff there, and she's really good friends with the mayor of Warner Robins. And I spoke with her when I was just there a couple weeks ago with the mayor, and she told me that, if I could, she would share fiscal information and things like that, or where they're trying to build and develop down there. And I really just kind of want to build a team or see who can help me, like that are investors and developers in that area, with it being a military city as well. So,
Well, guess what? Guess who can help you?
you guys.
We can. Okay. So listen, we're a globally recognized nonprofit veteran homeowners club, and I flew 13 days after 9/11. I was in Afghanistan, and guess where I flew out of?
Warner Robins.
Warner Robins. Okay. Actually, I flew out of Dobbins Air Force Base. We flew back into Warner Robins.
Okay.
Okay, so that military installation to do development around that city, that base right there is essential for service members, and they moved a lot of reserves up there. So that's a really good area for you to get some development. And also in that space, the barrier of entry is super low. So let's just say, 30,000 service members are on that base. And then you did a short-term rental there because that's a training institution or a transitional place. You can register those properties that you bought from the land bank that they have there, which is where they have distressed properties where you can get them undervalued, and you can get subsidized income from the city to make improvements to the city. Now you have a short-term rental that you can get and advertise to the service members that are coming in and out of that military installation and training there, because service members, when they're transitioning into that space, right? um, and they got to go into they can utilize the Airbnb, but if you register to be recognized as a DoD certified uh, base, then guess what? The government is going to pay for that service member living there versus living in a hotel. Now imagine if I get my 10 days of transitioning in and out of that base. The 10 days leave, like Bruno has a big Bruno, how many children do you have?
6.
Okay, so what hotel is going to service 6 people? That's going to be super expensive for him to move his family, and he's still on active duty. So him going into a hotel, there's no washing machine there. There's no, there's no driveways that you can. So it's coming out of his pocket. He might get reimbursed some of that money, but guess what? If you have that short-term rental and you register it to be recognized as a DoD certified place for that, then the government is going to reimburse you for your short-term rental. So here's how you connect with us. At the top, the digital business card, you'll see, click on the Facebook group and join the Facebook group. And Ian, do you want to, no, let's go Sierra. Sierra, are you there? I'm sorry, Ian. Sierra? Sierra. Okay. Bruno, are you there?
I'm here. I'm
Right
sorry.
here.
Oh my God, girl. Killing me.
Listen, I just got a client. She just called me and she's like, "Can you find me a home before Christmas?" So I'm Santa Claus, ho 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 over here. But I'm here. I'm here.
Indeed. So Sierra, I want you to interconnect with her, and Bruno and Sierra. We're going to help you get to where you need to be. Okay. So we're going to help you interconnect with the military installation. Okay. And we're going to help you analyze those areas so you can build in that area. Did that pour value into you, sister?
Yes, I appreciate you. Thank
So
you so.
three things, and this is for everyone. Join the Facebook group. Get in the Facebook group. Click the digital business card. Join the Facebook group. Following that, you will have people that will interconnect with you that can help you get to where you need to be from an investment standpoint. Anybody else have any value to add to the sister? Outstanding. Any other questions before we move on about the VA construction loan? We're gonna wrap that up. Anybody else want to ask any other questions before we move along?
Well, let's get one more share in here. We're at 49 shares. Let's get one more to get 50. Come on, guys. Happy birthday, Marines. Thank you for your service.
I appreciate you, Denver. Thank you for pulling up, brother. I really, really appreciate that. Now, how can we help you win? You have any questions in regard to the VA construction loan or any questions about the VA loan?
I hear you talking about it a lot, King. I'd love to, learn more about it. I think it's like the third or fourth time I've been in your rooms. Your rooms are always awesome. I love the energy in here. Shout out to King Otis James. I see you guys doing your thing over there. So yeah, I'd love to hear more about how that works and in detail. Right, that would be great. I am definitely a newbie to the room, so yeah.
Well, I appreciate you pulling up and thank you very much. And
Hey,
let's get
Tony,
back.
can we see if Kevin over here has a question? And I'm picking him because I can see that he's a Marine with the beanie, looking all hardcore.
Yeah, Kevin, do you have any questions about the VA construction loan? Kevin, Kevin
Hello?
Haran,
Hello? Can you hear me?
we can hear you.
All right, how you guys doing today?
We're doing outstanding.
My question, I'm just now utilizing the VA loan. I remember speaking in the Clubhouse chat room last year, oblivious to everything. I got a lot more information and know-how, but my question is, they asked me for a DARF, a DARP form to verify my credits with my time served for the 6 years and or a code for what you call it, DD 14. And I'm
Now,
calling the numbers provided. They did not give me either a good number or they're not in the office right now. So I was wondering, is there any other way I can get that information out to my money lender?
now let me answer that real quick. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he blew
Marine
it,
Corps.
y'all. He
Marine, come out.
blew it.
I,
Oh man. Okay, let me try this again. One,
I,
two, three, four.
United States Marine Corps. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about this situation
Oh
right
man.
here.
All right, brother. Yeah. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna interconnect with Bruno, and Bruno's gonna
Okay.
get it for you. What
All
area are
right.
you looking to purchase in?
In Chicago, I already got property closed and everything. I just need this form to get my COE.
Your certificate of eligibility. Are you in
Yes, sir.
escrow right now?
Not currently. We just got done with the inspection, and my lawyer, she just looked over that. They just sit back the review and ask any questions I have in details pertaining to that. So I'm don't know exactly what the process is, but
Okay, so
is
so
after the
y'all hear this,
inspection.
right? The reason why we're picking on now, Bruno, I'm gonna let you handle this because this is the reason why we exist. There's no reason why this veteran should not know what's going on, and he's in the process of acquiring a property. What now? Honestly, what does that sound like to you, Bruno? Bruno, you got the mic.
Man, it sounds like as if you're not being walked through the process early on, man, to where these are questions that should be answered and things and guidance that should be provided to you even before you get started with this, man. Like, pulling a certificate of eligibility, that is it's man, like that is like I would say step two, but it's in line for it to be like step one as you're getting pre-approved is
Yes, sir.
ensuring that we have that thing on hand. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, hit me up and and guys, so not just you, Kevin, but everybody else that's tuning in, man. Like, we are here like genuinely to help people. So even if you are working with another professional or, in escrow, in contract or whatever, man, like we are here to be able to serve as a voice of reason to give you somebody to, if somebody tells you something and you want to double check that information, man, it's what we're here for. You know what I mean? And it doesn't cost you anything. But yeah, hit me up, Kevin, and we'll get you spun up, brother.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. I did all the steps required in the beginning. Sent in my own DD 214. I went to the VA office. They sent me to send it to office that's located in Minnesota, and I thought I was done. but I guess there was something wrong with that specific DD 214. But they're requesting now that it's specifically the one I went on the 2020 deployment because it shows 90 days or more active duty. Since they can't see for some reason my credit report for my retirement credit report.
Now, see, now let me explain what he's talking about, guys, so we don't get lost in translation. Okay, you were a reservist, correct?
Yes, sir. 6 years, a total of 8 years actually, but 6 years mandatory and then two in your IR time.
Okay, inactive reserve status. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so basically what he's talking about is that if you're a reservist, you go on the weekends and you train, and then on one weekend out of the month you're there the whole time, right? You work a regular job and then you go back and then you work your regular job. So
Yeah.
his obligation was a total of 6 concurrent years of service in the reserves, and then he rates his VA home loan benefit. The only way that you can negate that is if you went to combat, right? You went to Afghanistan, Iraq, you went on actual out of the country on a deployment. Now, and then you get points for that. And you have to have a total of 300 points in order to get rate the VA loan. So if you were in for a year and you went to Afghanistan, then you rate that VA home loan benefit, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
right. But if you, and where did you deploy to?
I went to Afghanistan. I went to Republic of Georgia, and we stayed there for a longer period of time we needed to do it because of COVID, and then landed in Afghanistan. And then half of us got relocated to Jordan. That's why I finished the remainder of my term.
Now think about this. Now, do you think this veteran that sacrificed his life to fight for our country should be having to call around and figure out the paperwork status? Guys, this is why we exist. We do all of this stuff for you. So you don't have to be calling around and driving around and doing everything. We're going to help you, brother. So make sure you hit
Appreciate
up
it.
Bruno in the back channel, and then basically he'll get what you need. But that lender doesn't know VA, because if they did, they wouldn't be asking you to get stuff. They would know how to source it themselves.
And that's what I was thinking, but I don't know the situation. I'm going to send my phone number to Bruno right now on Clubhouse, and then we can just figure it out after this. Thank you.
Outstanding. Guess what, y'all? We just reached 50 shares in the Win in Real Estate Club. I want to give a special shout out to all of the moderators. Make sure you follow in Sierra, Kyler, Patrice, Yoshi, Brother Jake, Bruno, 10K, Fashawn, Ashley, and everyone else on stage. Make sure you give people a follow that resonate with you. And then also, we really appreciate you guys pulling up to the stage. And guess what, guys? If you have a business and you're trying to do business, the best way to get to where we're at is to help us. If you want to build with us, or if you want to learn from us, the best way to do that is to help us. How do you help us? Share the club, join the Facebook group. It's free. Okay. We were able to achieve over $1 billion in real estate sales, and we got published in 2019 for putting 700 veterans in homes the correct way. And guess what? Not one veteran has lost their homes. So if you want to be a part of that movement, make sure you're continuing to support, and we really appreciate you. Does anybody have any other questions before we give some more mod introductions?
Tony,
Anybody have questions on stage?
say something. And I really just want to elevate what you just said to that gentleman. If you're working with a lender that doesn't know that they have access as a lender to the VA portal, well, they can go directly to pull your certificate of eligibility at the beginning of the process, at the pre approval stage of the process, before you write a contract, so you know that everything's in line with your certificate of eligibility, then you're not working with the right lender. And I know that Tony and his team have the ability and the access to do that. So as I said, I just kind of wanted to elevate what you were saying, because there's so many vets who go in, and I'm about, me, I'm gonna call names, whether it's USAA, whether it's Navy Federal Credit Union, whether it's my local credit union.
Lord, Patrice trying to get me killed, man. I ain't trying to disappear. Patrice, what you doing, man? Oh,
But
somebody,
am I
Patrice, you trying to get me whacked, man. I ain't trying to get whacked, Jack.
stop, stop, stop it? But no, I mean, and that's the importance of working with somebody who knows the VA loan process. That's all I'm saying. That's the importance of it. And you and your
He's absolutely
that
right. You got to know like what people say and what they do. You have to make sure that they know the VA loan process.
Hey, Patrice, I got a
Oh
question
Lord,
for you.
Patrice,
So
somebody's at my damn door.
for you as a lender, Patrice, how would you know how much entitlement that veteran has without looking at that certificate of eligibility early on.
Can I be honest and tell you that, if they tell me that they own a home, I'm going to pull a certificate because I need to see how much of that eligibility has been tapped into. If they have never purchased a home, they have full entitlement. So, it really, for me, it depends on, the veteran and whether or not they're a first time home buyer. And remember that, the one thing, sometimes things happen and a VA loan ends up getting foreclosed on, and you still have the ability to use remaining entitlement to purchase a home, regardless of whether or not that foreclosure is there. Your eligibility is compromised. And that just means that some formulas need to be taken into consideration to see if you qualify for VA financing. At what purchase price are you still able to come in with no money down? And if you're looking at a price point, can you finance using your VA eligibility with no money down? Or are you going to be required to come in with a small down payment? I hope that answers that question, Bruno.
Absolutely. And I think, like the point that I was trying to make is that so you, a lender, a professional that knows what you're doing, that is familiar with VA, you would reach out and try to get that first thing so you know how to properly structure that file, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Boom.
let's
Back to you, Tony.
okay, and let's and make sure you guys, this is stuff that's very very essential in regard to that, and we want to continue to teach. And Shiral, Shiral, she has her hand raised and she can't come up. And guys, if you're in the audience, do me a favor. Rose, JP, Katrina, JB, Tim, Evelyn, Laverne, David, GQ, Michael, Graham, here's what I would like for you guys to do. Please raise your hand and come up because we want to keep the room growing. That's going to help us get the room big. Okay. So raise your hand. We'll pull you up. Even if you don't want to speak, we want to put as many people on stage so you can help us magnify what we're doing. Let's get back to it. All right. So now that we've gotten
I got a
to,
quick question.
I
Sorry.
got a quick, I got a quick answer.
Okay. It's back to that whole entitlement thing. Now, I had ran into that issue with a client, and this lender had kind of, stated like he was like a, military guru. And of course, he wasn't because he blamed it on his
Beware of the word
processing,
guru.
right? He blamed it on his processing team of why the eligibility, the entitlement wasn't pulled. Is that more of like, just kind of understanding? Because I'm like, was it his processing team or was he, as the lender, responsible to pull that initially?
Okay. I'll jump in. All right. So the lender works with the processing team. So overall, everybody wants to make excuses, but I know beyond a reasonable doubt, if I'm working with, and this is just an example, I know that Sister Patrice is going to run it down. So in the beginning, when you start to do the VA loan process, okay, because anybody can get their license and just pull information. If that person is not on top of the process, okay, and looking at everything up front to kind of mitigate and do good thorough communication, then you're going to have issues along the way. But then also you also have the borrower also mutually has to take responsibility of making sure they're submitting their paperwork timely and not changing their financial picture during the process. Okay. Now, the reason why I say that is because Patrice, Ian, Bruno, what do you usually see veterans buying after they get in escrow?
Cars.
Cars.
And you
Furniture.
cannot live in your
You see
car.
how fast she said that? You see how fast Patrice said that?
Y'all couldn't even get off your mics fast enough.
And cars, llama cover couch, 78-inch screen TV, you know, you know,
For a house you
furniture,
do not
you
The
own.
know,
full, the
you
full
know
living
that
room
that that
set from rooms to go.
900 pillows on your listen. I don't know why, ladies. I got a question for y'all. Why y'all have 900 pillows on y'all couches? I'm just asking. You know, they buy all kind of
Stop.
finance, all
Stop.
kind of crazy
Stop.
stuff.
Stop.
I
Stop with the
seen
pill.
$2,700 financed in pillows and sheets and stuff for a $250,000 house. Okay, to answer your question, it's at the end of the day, it's mutual responsibility of the lender, the actual lender, and the borrower. Okay, you can't blame the processor because the processor is actually the lender wouldn't the lender is the first person in inception. So it's a responsibility, it's mutual responsibility because that processor is working with the lender. Okay, the processor is under the lender, not the borrower. Okay, so, but also it's mutual responsibility of the borrower to submit all paperwork in a timely manner. Because if you're in a tight timeline, right, and you have a 30-day closing, and then you're getting your administrative stuff on week 2, week 3, you're probably going to have a late closing. Okay. So, to answer your question, I think that the processor and the lender work in unison for the borrower. Would you not? Would you not agree,
Throw-
Patrice?
Not only would I agree, but if you're working with a lender who's ready to throw his team under the bus because something went wrong, you're not working with the right lender. At the end of the day, I'm the loan officer on my files, and if something goes wrong, if something goes south, I'm the one that's responsible for what that is. I'm the one responsible for file flow. I'm responsible for turning in a full, complete loan application. I'm the one that's responsible for locking the loan, making sure it's disclosed properly. The buck stops with me as the loan officer, and at any given point in time. Now, I might throw an underwriter under the bus. Don't get me wrong. I've done that before, but I will not throw my processing team under the bus. The buck stops with me every time, every loan, every client.
Okay. Did that answer your question, sister?
Can I ask one too?
It
Yes.
did.
Go
Thank you,
ahead.
guys.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Jump in.
So, you mentioned you can build multifamily. What I'm wondering is, what is the multifamily loan max, and how many can you build?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm not gonna
Ooh, I can tap into that.
I'm gonna let the my illustrious staff answer that question. And then I'm gonna slam. They're gonna throw me the layup. I'm a slam dunk it with my knee braces on. But go ahead, jump in.
Okay, so then when you're talking about overall guidelines, right? So the guideline is that you're not there's no limit um, through VA guidelines, right? But then unless you're talking about subsequent use, so if it's your first use and you don't have your entitlement tied up, then it's unlimited, right? But then really it's going to boil down to how much can you afford. Number one, so it's a two-part answer that I'm going to give you. One, I'm going to tell you that it's going to be on how much it is that you can afford, right? Because you're going to look at your debt to income ratio and everything else. But two, I'm going to talk about the overlays, right? So each lender, as I mentioned before, they have their own restriction there and their own, set of rules and that guides how much risk, how risk averse they are. But really, it's going to boil down to that overlay too. So for the VA construction, a lot of the ones that I've come across, right, have a 1.5 million. I've come across another one that has a 2 million, but it's so number one is going to be how much you can afford, and then two is going to boil down to the overlay that respective lender has that they're willing to risk and lend you for that specific product, the VA construction loan. And then I'll pass it back to you, Tony.
With
Actually,
new
Bella, did that
construction,
answer your question?
yeah, actually, yeah, it did. But one additional follow-up: with new construction, can will they take into consideration rent revenue or rental income?
So, but now here's the thing, right? So if it's a
Because
new
if
construction, you don't. So if it's a new construction, you're not going to currently have any income, so they can't take that into consideration if it's not coming in. But I'll let Patrice to see if she can tap into that. But from my understanding, if it's not currently coming in, that is not something that they would consider because it's not something that they can show that it's currently being received. Patrice, would you agree with that?
One second. Let me add something to that real quick because I think that she asked a question that wasn't answered. So in regard to the finance portion, there is no limit in regard to what you can build, but he's absolutely correct. The units that you can build is 1 to 4 dwelling unit with 1 business unit attached. Okay. So a total of 5 units. Okay. But the tricky part about that, what it says that is that, and a unit means, imagine drawing, okay, you have one building. Okay. Imagine a building, right? You got a pen. I want you to visualize this. If you guys can have a pen right now, you're taking notes. I want you to put a 1 in the chat because I want you guys to actually physically draw this because I want to explain it to how you guys could understand it. Okay. All right. So put a 1 in the chat if you have a pen and you're taking notes. Okay, I see Evelyn, Bella, Yamaya, Leah, Tasha. I see you guys. All right, Kevin, I see you. Calvin, I see you. Okay, what I want you guys to do is I want you to draw a box. Okay, a box like a square on a piece of paper. Now I want you to draw a cross in the middle of that box. Okay, 1 horizontal line, 1 vertical line. So how many squares do you have on the piece of paper right now?
4.
4. Okay, so I want you to number them 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. All right. So now in the box with the number 1 in it, I want you to color it in. Okay. Now I'm gonna test you guys. You bet if y'all said that you got a 1, I'm gonna ask you guys if you picked up what I'm putting down. So you're coloring in. And now how many boxes do you have left?
Well, technically you have 4 left, but because
Don't
the
don't
original answer
overthink.
should have
Don't
been
over don't overthink it. Okay.
Three.
You
okay,
got three.
three,
You
three.
got 3. She's like, I want to tell you, you probably got 3 or 4 boxes because the box in itself is a box in reverse. No, just listen to what I'm
See, there
saying.
you go.
All right. Listen. Okay. You colored in number 1. Okay. Number 1 is the veteran. Okay. The veteran owner occupies that property. Okay. That's a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom unit in that box. Okay, that is called a multi-unit, a fourplex. Now you have 3 additional units that are 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. Okay, but it's in one building. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to draw a box underneath, and I want you to put a B in it. So I want you to draw a vertical box underneath the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got 1 to 4 dwelling units and 1 business unit. That is how many units one veteran can purchase or build with the VA construction loan. Did they answer your question? So imagine the Cosby's house. Okay, they live on top, and then they got a, oh no, George Jefferson. That might date some of you guys, but imagine you have a multi-unit that have attached walls. Okay, you have 1 unit that I live in, and you got 3 income producing units, and then you have a dry cleaners at the bottom that you lease out. That is how you can do the multi units with the VA loan with 100% financing. Okay, but there are limitations on the amount of land that you can buy. Now, if there's 2 veterans, how many veterans?
2.
2.
2. If there's 2 veterans, I'm gonna throw this layup to Bruno or Ian. Can you explain the process of 2 veterans participating in ownership?
Yeah, I got it. So with two, okay, so if it's 2 veterans, it makes it a little bit of a larger unit. So what you do is still the same procedure where it needs to have 1 business unit, but you're allowed to have up to 6 residential units in addition to the 1 business unit. So a total of 7 versus a total of 5 with the single veteran. So once again, that's if you're 2 veterans buying a multi-unit, it can have 7 units. That's 1 for each of the veterans to reside in as their primary residence, which, as we talked about before, is a requirement of the VA loan. But you're allowed to have 4 other residential units in that structure, as well as 1 business unit, and you can knock that down together as 2 different unrelated unmarried veterans. Or excuse me, I mean maybe they can be related, but not married veterans.
Okay, so that means that if Sierra and I were married, that means that her and I, and she's a vet, I'm a vet, we can't do a 7 unit. We can build a 5 unit. But
That's
the
correct.
get around to that is that I can use my VA home loan benefit. I can live in a unit, and we can live in that unit together, and then rent to other properties out. And then after we facilitate or we satisfy the occupancy of that unit, let's just say her and I had, and this is just for, listen guys, this is just for instructional purposes, okay? All right, I want to make sure, because I'm just giving you guys an example. Matter of fact, let me do it this way. Let's just say Kyler and Sierra were married. All right, that's better. Okay, Kyler and Sierra were married, and then Kyler, they lived in a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom multi-unit, and they're cash flowing the other units. They bought that multi-unit and they decided to move out to get a bigger single family home. They facilitated the owner occupancy of that multi-unit. It's cash flowing. So they moved out of the multi-unit, put tenants in that first room that they lived in. Now they got a fiveplex that's cash flowing. So that eliminates their debt, and they can use that income to use Sierra's VA loan to buy another unit, another fiveplex, for a total of 10 units. This could totally be done, guys. Okay. So when you guys are doing these, when you're looking at, can you buy an investment property with the VA loan, unequivocally, okay? Is it difficult to do finding multi-units? No, it's not hard finding fourplexes, okay? 5 units, it is difficult to find, but you can, somebody's got, Ian, you got a hot mic, bro. You can find you can utilize your VA home loan benefit to buy multiple units, especially if it's two veterans participating in the unit. Let me reset the room, okay? And then we're going to get back into the VA construction loan, because we still got to do the rehab, the VA rehab loan, okay? If you are enjoying the conversation, I want you to put a fire emoji in the chat right now. If you learned something today, I want you guys to put a fire emoji in the chat right now. If you learned one thing today, for Sean, JP, Yamaya, Tony, I see you guys are learning. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you are enjoying the energy, I want you to follow all of the main moderators. My man Bruno, Ian, Sierra, and myself, and then also follow all of the guest moderators. These are my friends, and support them. Sister Ashley, my sister Patrice, Jake, brother 10K. These are my friends, okay? And they help us win in real estate. Do me a favor, click the greenhouse at the top. We have, guess what, y'all? We have reached our 300 winners in real estate today. So I want to give a special shout out to all of you guys who supported the room today. And guess what? I hope you guys are picking up what we're putting down. But today, when you leave, you're going to know everything that you need to know about the VA rehab loan. And you're going to know everything that you need to know about the VA construction loan. Let's continue to share the room. Do me a favor, click the box. We hit the 55. You know what? I know we can get to 100. So let's set another goal of 100 shares right now. Click the box down at the bottom with the up arrow. Get to sharing, because sharing is what? Caring. Let's go. Did we answer your question, sister? Okay, about the
Yes,
units.
sir.
Okay, and did I break it down to where ASVAB or SAT waivers could understand it?
You
Okay,
did.
because I know
Thank you.
some of y'all had to take that SAT like 9 times to get in school. Some of y'all had to take that ASVAB. All right, so hopefully you guys picked up what I'm putting down. Joy, Viviana, Sasha, Yamaya, Carice, Kevin, Betsy, Tasha, Anthony Renew. Thank you guys for joining us. Does anybody have any questions on the stage before we continue to break down the VA construction loan? Because we got a couple of more steps to follow. Anybody else? Anybody have any questions before I move along? Going once. I guess all of y'all professionals. Nobody has any questions on the stage. Anything.
Ask another
Outstanding.
one.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead. Ask
Okay.
some questions.
All right, so I did just get my truck certification and registered as a minority women business owner, and I know they offer different contracts and stuff. I'm doing trucking contracts, but I'm understanding that there are real estate contracts as well. So I'm trying to see how that will also tie in, like with development and stuff. If there are contracts that they offer for people who are sam.gov registered and stuff like that.
Now, you say you're certified and registered as you're a vet?
No, I'm not a vet, just with the government, like just with sam.gov and then with the
Yes.
trucking authority.
Yes, to
Okay.
answer your question unequivocally, yes, you can get all types of government contracts because you solve the you hit two of the nails. Number one, you're a minority, and number two, you're a woman-owned business. So guess what? For those of you looking sitting in here, they give those certifications to minority, veteran. If you hit all three, the minority, veteran, disabled, you definitely get. And then if you're a minority, disabled, woman owned, disabled veteran, that's even better. Okay, but yes, you can definitely get contracts because you hit two of the situations. You're a minority and you're a female owned business. So there are some a lot of government contracts that they set aside specifically for you. Okay, and that's a question. That's an if you want more information about that, because we do everything. One of the things that we've learned in our group, okay, if you notice, I got a lot of friends, right? Is that somebody knows something or someone that could help me extend our message, right? There's people that are not even in real estate that's up here, but they want to learn, right? And guess what? Every last one of you can invest with a veteran. And we're going to go over that after we go over the VA rehab and construction loan. But listen, speak up, guys. And then also, the best way to get where we're at is to help us. Help us share the room. Give us the megaphone so we can push our message out. Because guess what? If you see somebody rocking and rolling doing business by themselves, they just want to make money. But if you see people who are doing business with other people and collaborating with people, those are the people that you want to interconnect with because they know more people that can help you along the way in your business. Does that make sense? Because right now we have uh, Ian, Sierra, Kyler, Anthony, Patrice, Bruno, Jake, Ashley, and 10K. We all do business together. Did you know that? We all work together and we're not in the same business. So that will be an example for everyone. If you have a business and you're trying to expand your business, if you want to grow fast, do it by yourself. If you want to grow far, collaborate with people and being complementary to what they're doing. Okay. But hopefully I answer your question, sister. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a follow up. So, if you are about qualification and income, right? So, if I want to build that 5 unit, or get with another veteran and build the 7 unit, then and our incomes, our W-2 or 1099 incomes don't, um, qualify for 6 or 7 units, or 5 or 7 units rather.
I know where you're going
Then
with this.
what do,
Let me help you.
yeah, I mean,
Let me
the
help you real
income
quick.
and the rental. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if I'm a vet and I have a non-vet, okay, Corey's a non-vet, okay. I'm the veteran. I have the entitlement. He's the non-vet. The non-vet's credit must be I mean, the veteran's credit must be satisfactory, and the veteran's income must be sufficient to repay the portion of the loan that is allocable to the veteran's interest in the property. I'm gonna say that again.
So
The veteran's
50%
credit, say credit,
credit,
must be satisfactory, and the veteran's income, say income,
income.
must be sufficient to repay the portion of the loan that applies to the veteran's interest in the property. A different analysis to the portion of the loan is to the non-veteran. The credit of the non-veteran must be satisfactory. However, say however,
However,
combined income of both borrowers can be considered in evaluating the repayment ability. So that means that, in other words, income strength of the veteran may compensate for the income weakness of the non-veteran. So if I'm the vet and I got income and you have a substandard income, I can subsidize your portion of the loan to qualify. But if the not but the non-veteran income and strength can't compensate for the veteran's income weakness. So if I'm the veteran and I don't have the income and you making all of this money, you can't compensate for me because it's my entitlement.
okay.
Okay.
And as I think it was Ian who said you cannot qualify based on the potential rents that you'll receive because you haven't received them yet. However, if
Okay,
the rental market is strong,
but you
mhm,
can though if you buy a multi-unit and then there's income that's coming in for the multi-unit. Some lenders will allow you to consider that for qualification. So say for instance, you see a multi-unit and you have income coming in that can be considered in regard to some lenders, not all, but some lenders will consider that income producing property and eliminate some of the debt. Okay.
Okay, it's for pre-existing units.
Tenants. There you go. All right. Did I answer
Okay,
your question?
but for a new build, the answer is no.
No, new build, you can't, project, oh yeah, I can get this. They're gonna go based off of how much money you have and what's your repayment.
Got
Because
it.
the VA
Okay,
is not interested in you generating income. They're interested in you owner occupying and repaying back what you borrow.
got it. Perfect. Thank you.
Did I break it down to where you could understand it?
You broke it all the way down to the ground. You can't even see no space under it because you broke it down so far.
Okay, good, 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 man. That's what we're here for, man. We're here to teach, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing up in here in the Winning Real Estate Club. Let's go, y'all. All right. So let's get back to the portion of the VA construction loan so we can wrap that up. I really appreciate all of you waiting so patiently for us to drop these nuggets. So now, Ian, Bruno, are you with us?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now
Yes, sir.
I Okay, so all right, so where we're at that for the recap for the people who just started, the first step is what? Let's see if you guys picked up what we're putting down. Anybody on stage can answer. What's the first step in the VA construction loan? Somebody tell me right now. Go.
You have to be a veteran or a
You
VA.
got you got to be a veteran. What's the next step? What's the next step?
Got to get
Finding a
approved.
lender.
Finding a VA construction loan lender.
Finding a VA construction loan lender. What does that lender have to do?
Get certified through the VA.
Get certified. Make sure that that person can do VA construction loans. What's the next step? Next step.
They're
Find a
gonna go ahead and gonna
certified
find a
builder.
builder.
Finding a certified builder. What is that VA certified builder? Where does he have to go?
He has to get vetted through the lender, and then he also has to get vetted through the VA by filling out some paperwork.
Okay, and what's the website that they go to? www. Let me put this down. Write this down. Write
ebenefits.va.gov.
this down. Write this down, y'all. Okay, write this down. Okay, www. dot wire WIREMENTORS.com. Wirementors.com. You're gonna hit us up and we're gonna drive you through all of this stuff, okay? www.va.gov. That's where you download everything. But if you don't know where to go, we're going to help you get there. Right now, at the very top, you'll see a digital business card. Join our Facebook group because we provide leads, number one, to real estate professionals looking to scale their VA business. And then also, if you're wanting to become a brand ambassador, we have a course that you can take, okay, and learn about the VA entitlement, and we can help you build your VA business where you're located at. And if you look at that digital business card, you'll see we do something this old Greek god said. He said, walketh, liketh, it talketh. Okay, that's Anthony Asglenius, the VA loan god. Let's go, y'all. All right. So, what's the next step? Who can tell me what the next step? All right. So, I got my contractor, I have my loan, I got the money. What happens next? Bruno, in, go.
Making sure that the builder is vetted through the lender and that the lender accepts that builder and is willing to fund the project using that lender or using that builder as the general contractor that has a B license.
Okay. All right. And can you break that down?
Yeah. So once again, it's when the builder fills out the builder questionnaire and the packet that gets submitted to the lender. The lender is going to vet through that and make sure that that builder has the experience to take on a project of that size, and that they have experience with previous projects of similar scope. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so I got the money, I got the contractor. Ian, are you there? Ian Jensen. Sierra, are you
Yes,
there?
sir. Right here.
Sierra, are you there?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so I got the money, I got the bag. Now, where do I put the money into, Sierra?
Escrow.
Okay, can you explain what escrow is?
Escrow is a mutual third party. It's basically the security for the bank and the buyer, as well as the builder for the funds for the transaction. So there is no funny business happening. Is that good enough?
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yeah,
We
we
hear you
got
Yes,
you.
now.
sir.
Yep.
Okay. So I got a testimony, y'all. I am a chronic. I want y'all. I'm a serial dead earbud person. I'm always either losing one of my earbuds or dead. I'm serial at doing it. So if y'all hear me and I'm all loud and it's echoing, it's because I'm on speakerphone with my lips on speakerphone, y'all. So now I got my earbuds in after they charge, and they're probably gonna go dead in like 6 minutes. All right. But now after money goes into escrow is like a bank. Okay, it's a company that holds the money. Now, Ian, what happens next? Ian, I'm gonna give it to Ian, and then Bruno, and then I'm gonna finish it up with the VA construction loan steps. Okay.
All right. So after this, once you have all the different players identified, the veteran is qualified, you got a builder and you got a lender, all certified and able to move forward. You start going through the process. It's kind of a step-by-step process where the escrow will release funds in draws, DRAWS, which is a periodized disbursement of the funds. So they'll unleash a chunk to the builder at first, so that you can knock down the land and grab that. Then they'll release another chunk where you'll put down some of the infrastructure, the electrical, the pipe, the plumbing, the foundation. They'll release another chunk so that you can go vertical, do the framing, do the exterior, and then they'll do another chunk to do all the little odds and ends. And
Okay, hold
then
on, hold on. You can't be going too much now. We got to break it down into. You can't be giving them the filet McNaig and the cabinet sabagnog. You got to give them a little bit at a time, man. Sometimes you got to give them some what do you call the little skinny steak that you put on in California that tastes so delicious?
What's it
Uh,
called, Anthony?
what's it called? Carne asada, carne asita. Okay,
Oh
got
man.
to give them a little carne asada, brother. You know what I'm saying? You can't be giving them the filet McNaig and the cabinet sebegnog. Y'all know what that is, right? That's the Atlanta, Georgia way of saying filet mignon, okay, or cabernet,
Hold on.
okay. Okay, all right. So let's pause right there, and I want to give a special shout out to Jay in the building. Okay, my man Jay just pulled up. Okay, so here's the deal, Jay. I'm gonna give you an introduction right after this, okay, and then we're gonna open it up for questioning. Okay, so now what Ian Jensen is saying specifically is that the money goes in. The money goes into escrow. Okay, Sierra is the money. Okay, Sierra, what's the name of your escrow company?
Taylor Escrow Incorporated.
Okay, Taylor Escrow Incorporated. Okay, so what happens is the bank is going to put the money into Taylor Escrow Incorporated, and every red penny of the bill is going to go into Sierra's company. And guess what? The veteran pays zero money down, nothing, zero, zilch. So that means before the shovel hits the dirt, every red penny of that build is paid for. So then the contractor, let me see here, who's going to have a contractor company? Jay's going to have the contractor company. Jay, what's the name of your contractor company, brother?
It's called Glenn Nolan Enterprises.
Glenn Nolan Enterprises, okay? So Glenn Nolan Enterprises is going to go to Sierra, and Glenn Nolan Enterprises is going to take money out of Sierra's escrow account, and then he's going to start the build. The first phase is going to be acquiring the property and submitting for the permits, okay? The land. And then the next withdrawal or draw, put withdrawal or draw, DRAW, okay? A withdrawal or draw. That means that he's taking money out so he can pay for the land and then get the foundation poured, which is the concrete, and do the permits. Then the next draw would be, what's the next draw, Ian? Ian, what's the next draw?
next draw is going to be for the foundation and infrastructure.
Foundation and infrastructure. Sierra, what's the next draw? Or Bruno, what's the next draw?
Framing.
Framing, okay. What's the next draw, Sierra? Give me one.
Ooh, inspection. Well, yeah, inspections,
The
right?
inspections, that's good, okay, and so on and so forth until that property is done. Now, the fundamental difference between the VA construction loan and a regular loan is Otis here. Otis, are you there, brother? Otis?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, Otis, can you help me? Tell me the major difference between that VA construction loan and doing a regular build. What's the difference in regard to the what you would have to put down to do a regular build, and when you're taking draws out of paying that, you got it. You got it. I'm gonna throw you this layup.
Yeah, so if you're using VA, then you're financing 100%. You don't have to put anything down, and you don't have to make any payments until the job is completed, which is completely different from conventional. Whether you're using conventional or hard money, you're typically going to have to put something down, and you may have to make payments along the way that go along with your carrying costs.
Okay, so can you tell them what carrying cost is, and then also you got to pay interest on those draws, right? Can you tell me what that looks like, Otis? Can you give them an example?
Yeah, so carrying costs is whatever it costs you to own the property while you're doing all these things. And me, from the investor side, typical carrying costs is interest, taxes, and insurance. Many times they have products where you don't have to pay down principal; you can do interest only. I've never done a VA construction loan, but just from being in this room, that's what I was able to deduce from conversations that you guys have been having. And you have to pay interest on the draws also, right? Um, let's say they'll do what they call a holdback. So you'll get your financing, and then there'll be a set amount that's a holdback, which is typically either the cost of remodel or the cost of build, or a phase of the cost of build, and you pay interest on whatever portion of that holdback that you utilize.
Boom. So that's the big fundamental difference. So the difference for a VA construction loan and a loan, and make sure you give Ian, Jitson, Sierra, and Jay, and everybody else that participated in that process, give them a follow. Make sure you guys give them a digital currency, so a little bit of digital currency in regard to this. Okay. So essentially what he's saying is that as soon as I start taking, for one, I'm only can do up to 80% of the build, and the rest of the money I got to pay. So if I'm doing a $100,000 build, I'm going to have to bring $20,000 to the table in most cases. Okay. This is just for instructional purposes. The VA loan, you don't have to bring anything to the table. Okay. And typically, a lot of times when you're doing the acquisition of the property or buying the land, you got to buy the land and then finance the build. So, and that's in most traditional cases. With the VA loan, you don't have to do that. And that's the reason why I say, guys, if you're a veteran or a non-veteran, if you are a veteran, every veteran that you know, you should be asking them, have you used your VA loan and why? And not, you got to get in here in the Winning Real Estate Club so we can do a joint venture together. Now, let me read this, and then I'm going to continue to move on. We're going to wrap up this, and then we're going to go into introducing Brother Jay that just came up, and then we're going to open it up for questioning. All right. VA construction loan, okay? All right, here it is right here. I'm reading this, and I want y'all to hear this, okay? The VA will guarantee a construction permit home loan that is a loan to finance the construction purchase of a residence. The loan is closed prior, everybody unmute your mic and say prior.
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 Prior to the
Prior.
start of construction. The loan is closed prior to the start of construction, with proceeds dispersed to cover the cost of balance on the land and the balance in escrow. The escrow monies are paid out to the builder during construction. The lender may obtain written approval from the borrower before each draw payment is provided to the builder. Okay? All right, now watch this. The veteran begins making payments on a construction permit home loan only after, say after,
After.
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 construction is complete. Therefore, the initial payment on the principal may be postponed up to 1 year if necessary. Let me read this again. Therefore, the initial payment on the principal may be postponed up to 1 year if necessary. The loan must be amortized to achieve full repayment within its remaining term. Example, if the loan takes 6 months to complete construction, the payment schedule for the veteran obtaining a 30-year mortgage must be provided for full repayment of the loan in 29 years and 6 months. Rather than requiring a balloon payment, it may be preferable to set up equal payments beginning after construction is complete. The VA requirement, the loan amortized approximately equal payments. Okay, so that means that the loan. Now let me read this too. Interest payment during the construction period. Okay, The builder must pay for that. Any fees normally paid by the builder who obtains interest on the construction. The lender may offer a ceiling floor to the veteran that floats the interest rate during construction. The agreement must be provided the lock-in permit. Okay, this is the part right here. The veteran may not pay any fees that the builder's responsibility. The fees the veteran can pay are only the VA funding fee, and there's a couple of other things. So basically, follow me with this. The build is completed. The veteran doesn't begin to make payments or pay any money until the build is complete. That is a VA construction loan. Explain. Let me reset. Guys, you're in the Winning Real Estate Club. I want to give a special shout out to everyone, the 360 winners in real estate joining us today, rocking and rolling and learning how to do the VA construction loan. I want to give a special shout out to all of you that supported us on the Marine Corps' 247 years of illustrious service to our country. Shout out to everyone who supports us, and thank you for the 68 winners in real estate that shared the room. Do me a favor right now, click that box. I feel it in my bones that we can get to 100. Do me a favor, click that box. We need 30 more winners to share this to your hallway, and I want y'all to put happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps. Just put happy birthday in your hallway, and then also, right now, I want you, if you're sitting in the audience, okay, Chandra, Wayne, ASD, Tim, Calvin, Rose, Salima, Keita, Martin, Vanessa, Ignacio. If you're sitting in the audience, I want you to raise your hand right now, and I want you to come up to the stage, okay? You do not have to ask a question, but guess what? If you support veterans and you love the veterans, you love the United States Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Space Force, okay? I want you to come up, raise your hand, and keep this party going, all right? Now, that is the VA construction loan explained, okay? So essentially what that means is that, boom, veteran finds the lender, finds the contractor, puts the money into escrow, okay? The contractor then withdraws until the build is complete. The veteran gets keys, he moves in, and then he starts paying monthly payments following the construction. Does anybody have any questions about the VA construction loan before we move to the VA rehabilitation loan? That one's going to be quick because you guys kind of know a little bit about it. But we're going to talk about the VA rehab loan, and then we're going to end with joint VA loans. And you're going to learn today how you as a civilian can network with a person like me and become a real estate investor. If you want to learn about that, put a fire emoji in the chat right now. All right, Jay, brother, you want to unmute your mic, introduce yourself, please.
Appreciate it, man. I just love this room, Anthony, what you're doing here. Had a major mortgage brokerage and bank from the around 2002 all the way to around 2008, and was really, so important to watch what real estate did in my life as far as the education, understanding the importance of wealth building and how, a person can really change their life. And I love what you're doing, Anthony, because the education that you're bringing is going to empower people to be able to do one of those key things that they need to do, which is begin to build equity in their life. And really, when that equity starts to grow, it's like a residual effect. Then you start getting into generational wealth if you do it the right way and the way you're teaching things. So you doing these particular classes, I know this is a unique one, Anthony, that people really get caught slipping. I can remember in the mortgage business, the power of these VA loans, a lot of times people got caught slipping on the ability to be able to really maximize them out. And there is a lot of flexibility and a reduced documentation that I found when we were doing those particular loans. So I love that you're bringing this angle out. I think it can really help a lot of people. I've been an entrepreneur now about 27 years, been able to start multiple multi-million dollar businesses that have grown all over the world, 90 countries, done seminars in 20 plus countries. And the thing that I'm always telling people is make sure that you own some real estate, own some land. So going into 2023, I would encourage everyone that's listening now to tap into what Anthony is training, what he's teaching, and get you at least one parcel of land or home in 2023. And what I found, Anthony, when a person gets one, and then they see that, hey, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that scary, because I think a lot of times people get scared of real estate, especially when we're not taught to do that in school, grades 1 through 12, even in college. It's not teaching us home ownership, land ownership, equity. The last thing I want to say, Anthony, is the importance of this subject is critical. My grandfather, he grew up on a farm. I was raised on a hog farm. And my grandfather would point, Anthony, around at all the land that all of these people of color at that time had owned. I'm talking about thousands of acres, and how people weren't educated and they sold that land off for pennies on the dollar and wanted to go into the town to where they didn't hardly own anything. They were renting everything that they had. Nothing that's wrong with that, but you should also have equity and ownership. So when you hit these different perspectives, these different angles, you can see the replays are on. Add this to your repertoire, because if you're in this room, obviously you're wanting to know something. You want to up level your education. Put this VA in your repertoire, what Anthony is teaching. So I appreciate just coming in, just want to support, and just love what you're doing, Anthony. Back over to you, Alain.
I appreciate that. And if you guys don't give Brother Jay a follow, did y'all hear that? I don't want to gloss over that multi-million and billions and trillions. Listen, uh, uh, Jay, man, all I want to do is just drive the Cullinan, man. Can I just sit in? Can I
Let's
drive the
go,
Cullinan?
Jay.
That's all I want to
Let's
do, man.
go.
Hey, if you need a veteran, look, check this out. I solve a couple of problems. Number one, I can't hear, so I'm loud. Okay, from going to combat, so everybody's scared because I talk so loud. And number two, I'm a disabled veteran, man. I know how to shoot guns, man. You need a bodyguard, or you need me to make some fried bologna sandwiches, man. Can I just drive the Cullinan, brother? That's all I want to
Yeah,
know.
you're good. You're great. Well, I appreciate you, and I really do. And I love the consistency of what you're doing. And hopefully, everybody else in the room is following the club at the top, making sure you're giving a follow, and just be real with it. Just be real with what you're wanting to do when it goes into this next year. Don't let another year slip. I don't want that to happen for any of you. Grab this information and implement it. Be a doer of what you're hearing. Thanks, Dan.
Outstanding, man. And I'm gonna tell you, listen, either you do or you don't want to become financially stable. Don't just get the information. And listen, this is proof right here, man. We've had 381 people here today, and we've only had 79 shares. What does that tell you? That means that everybody's not going to support you. Okay. This is free information for you to network and get with a vet. We've been asking for people in the audience to come to the stage. I know you guys are at work listening. Raise your hand and come to the stage so we can echo this information so more vets can get in the homes. Okay? It costs you nothing to do that. Okay? And we need 20 more people to get to that 100. The goal was 100. 20 of you guys. Okay. All right. So that 18 more people to get to 100 right now. Okay? 18 more people. Does anybody else have any questions while I'm here? Corey, can you introduce yourself, brother? Are you there, Corey? Okay, Corey, I want to give a special shout out to him because he's not a vet, but he's bringing his audience here to hear us run our mouth. Does anybody on stage have any questions right now in regard before we continue to move on to?
Yo, Anthony, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Corey? You want to introduce yourself real quick, bro? Or did you introduce yourself already? I can't remember, man.
Absolutely, man. What's going on, guys? My name is Corey, the coach, man. Listen, I'm excited to be here. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Opened a couple of tax offices, just a few of them. Also own a couple of trucks, just a few. But really, man, what I'm specializing right now, and really my passion right now, is to really help people grow and get to the next level by changing their mindset. So I'm also a business coach, life coach. I'm just Corey, the coach, man. That's me, man. And listen, I'm trying to figure out about these VA loans. I'm not in the military, but my daughter is. And so the reason this is important to me is because my daughter is serving in the Navy right now. And with her being in the Navy, can I qualify for some of these loans, Aunt, or is it just for my daughter, man? What's going on?
Ooh, I'm glad you asked that question.
Ooh.
I am glad that you asked that question. Okay, my brother Otis, his daughter's in the Navy as
Good
well.
question.
Okay, and Otis served as well. But Sierra, Ian, Bruno, you want to answer that question? Can he take advantage of the VA home loan benefit with his daughter? Yes or no? And how can he do it?
Yes, sir. You
Yes,
sure can,
sir.
sir. So all you got to do though is you just need to make sure that your young lady is living there in the property, but you can knock down a property together.
Okay. One more question.
Let me show you how. Wait. Hold on just a second. Let me show you how you can do it, though. I don't want you to just say yes. Can we tell you how?
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Outstanding. Sierra, you want to start it, and then I'll finish.
Sorry. Yes. So first things first, you would need to talk to your daughter about working on you guys getting a pre-approval together to use her VA loan. Of course, it would have to be where she's stationed at, and I'll pass it off to Anthony.
Okay. And Bruno, do you want to jump in and add some value to that, and then
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
finish.
Yeah, so for sure. So like Sierra said, is obviously making sure that the pre-approval and everything else is there lined up, right? So the things that you need to know is that you will have to come out of pocket, right? But you're coming in and you're getting all of the benefits that the veteran would get, except that you are coming out of pocket less. So so if it's you and her, instead of you coming out of pocket 20% down, so you cannot have the PMI or MIP or everything else, right? And that's premium mortgage insurance, right? For you not to have that, you would just come in with 12.5% because the VA covers 25%, and then that allows you to be able to reap all the benefits that the veterans would be able to reap. Now, you don't have to reside in the property; your daughter would, but then you guys can eventually do the cash out. You can do the Earl. You can do everything else. But Tony, I'm going to pass it to you so you can slam dunk it, baby.
Okay, let's go. All right. So here it is right here. All right. So joint loans. Okay. A veteran and a person are liable. That means a joint loan is made to a veteran and one or more non-veterans, and it can't be your wife or husband. Okay. So a loan involving his or her spouse will be treated as a joint loan. Here it is right here. Okay. For the purpose of applying the principle, okay, this explains what it means. Okay. All right. I'm a veteran. You're my father. Okay. I use my VA home loan benefit. I buy a 4 unit. Okay. I get if I go on the loan, I have to put a portion of the money down. Okay. But if I am here it is right here. If a joint loan refers to a veteran that holds title to the property and any other person, okay, so that means that if you're the non-veteran, we knock down the property, you still get the position to do the 100% cash out refinance since the veteran is on the loan. So if you buy $1 million property, 4 unit, and you have to put a small portion down, that VA loan has no mortgage insurance on it. So let's just say for instructional purposes only, you knock down a $500,000 multi-unit. That means that you would have to bring in a small amount. That's a non-recurring cost. That means that there's no money. That means you pay it one time and then you're done. Okay. And then all of that is tax deductible, that you put the money that you do in the property. And then let's just say that you bought an off-market $500,000 property. Okay. And then you you put that money into the property and then did some improvements, and then that property once you close is worth $600,000. So that means you have $100,000 of equity in the property. After 210 days, you could take that $100,000 out and reinvest in another asset. That is the beauty of the VA loan. The VA loan allows you to take 100% of the equity position out to invest in another asset. That's the only loan that you can do that with. Other loans require 80%. You can only take 80. So imagine if it's a $100,000 property and I wanted to borrow up, I can finance up to 80%. Then if it's a $500,000 property, it's $100,000 of equity. I can take all of that money out. So now there's another way to do it. The veteran is he's participating. The father gives money to the vet. Now remember this. I want y'all to write this down. Okay. Corey's my father. I use my VA entitlement. My father gives me $100,000 to do the rehab or improvements on the property. So that means instead of him putting the money down, he's gifting me the money. Okay. Now it does have to be sourced. Okay. You can't take it out of your mattress and stuff like that, and then utilize that money for improvements. Sourcing it means that you have to show proof where it came from, because you could be in with the cartel. Okay, it does have to be sourced. So Pop gives me $100,000 and he says, "I'm gonna give you this $100,000, but I have to be on title." That means that I have equitable position in the property. That means once it records, it will say Corey and Anthony as joint tenants, or tenants in common, or whatever. That means that his and her name, my name and his name, is on title to the property. That means we have equal shares. So that means that instead of him putting the money down, why don't you get the gift so he has to put no money down and he has equal interest in the property? That's two ways right there. One way is putting money down so you can actually go on the loan. The other way is the veteran uses his entitlement. You gift the money to him for the rehab or the improvements, and then now you don't have to put any money down. You use that money for that. So that means the veteran is the only one on the loan, because there's two sides of ownership. One is on title. That means once it records in the office. Imagine, here's an example. You know when you go to the DMV and they give you a title, okay, and then it says Navy Federal Credit Union or whoever your finance institution, you have ownership in the car. You have the car, but the bank has interest in it because they gave you the loan, right? That's the same way. If I gift you, if Pops gifts me the money, I acquire the property, I take advantage of the 100% financing, I use the $100,000 to improve the property. Now the property's worth $100,000. 210 days after me making payments, I get to do a cash out refinance of that $100,000 and then utilize that for another investment property. Corey, did I break it down shotgun style for you, brother?
Listen, man. Listen, you broke it down, man, and now I understand everything you're saying, brother. So I appreciate that. I do got one more question for you, man. So my father, because I'm glad you mentioned father. My father was in the army for years, but unfortunately he passed away. So if my father, who is unfortunately not any longer here, was in the military, would I still be able to use those benefits, or did those benefits pass when he passed away?
Okay, Ian, I'm gonna let you handle this one. Ian, you want to answer that question?
I got it. Yes, sir. So the question is, if your father has passed, then no, that his entitlement does not transfer. The only time that a veteran's entitlement will transfer to another person is if it's the spouse of that person, and they have to pass away according relative to their service connected disability.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, obviously, I knew the answer. My father passed away 6 years ago, and I was trying to get some things connected to his benefit. I forgot the name of the insurance. Maybe you guys, military, can help me. But is it USAA insurance or something like that that's connected to the military? Either way, he was trying to get me that before he passed away. I procrastinated. I didn't get the insurance. My father passed away. I called to try to get the insurance, and they said that the benefits passed away with him. So I just wanted to, bring that question out because somebody else may have had that question. But I appreciate it, man. And then, I was going to tell you, Anthony, my daughter actually lives in California. So what I'm hearing you guys say is where she's stationed at is where she has to get that particular loan, which is perfect for me. So, man, I appreciate that information. Thank you so much.
Okay, and I want you to interconnect with uh, Bruno Nascimento. Bruno, are you there?
I'm right here.
Bruno and Corey, let's get it on the schedule, man, so we can map out a free consultation for you and your daughter. It costs you nothing, bro. So let's get on a phone call with me and Bruno, and then now this roadmap is free. We're going to tell you what your benefits are, get you on the hook. That way, your daughter. I already know you're making the bag, bro. But if there's an opportunity for her to invest in real estate out here in sunny Southern California, and then we'll help you get her property. And then guess what? You can say, hey, I learned all of this stuff in the Win in Real Estate Club, and then also she'll get that property and start her generational wealth journey.
Man, let's go. Let's go. Anthony, I'm gonna ask you one more question, man. Of course, I know the answer, but when I hear VA loan, the first word, being veteran, that is this loan for active duty military as well, or do they have to be retired to get this benefit?
No, they can be active on active duty. Okay, I use my VA loan multiple times on active duty, and I also use the loan afterwards. Now, the beauty of it also is you get to take advantage of the low interest rates. Right now, I'm standing in a property um, that I purchased with my VA home loan benefit. Okay, follow me with this. Okay, bought the property for 1.5. Property increased in value to $2.8 million. Did a cash out refinance. No, I did a interest rate reduction refinance loan. Went from a 2.8 to a 2.125 30-year fixed. Then I did a cash out refinance. So I use for this specific property I'm standing in right now. This property is approximately worth $4 million now, and I was able to take money out of this property and invest in other assets from one VA loan. One. Okay, so you don't have to be, you don't have to, you're just leveraging the VA loan to take advantage of it. But you can either be active duty or out. As long as you got an honorable discharge, you can utilize your VA loan multiple times.
Okay, Anthony. I got two more questions for you, man. I'm gonna get a roll back to you. What? Here go the next question. Actually, I'm gonna pull it from the chat. A brother asked a question from the chat, and then I do got one more question for you. The brother said, "What if your father is ex-Marine but he's still alive? Can you get his benefits?"
Yes. So you can't utilize his benefits. He has to use his benefits. So remember, the VA loan is specifically for the veteran to live in the property. Okay, so if that Marine has got an honorable discharge, he can get that VA loan, buy the property, he lives in the property, and then he can you can do a VA, you can do an assumable loan as long as he intends to own or occupy the property. It's just time. So if I wanted to immediately utilize as a civilian, I can either do a joint loan and guess what? The non-veteran does not have to live in the property, only the veteran. So let's just say I did a joint VA loan for a multi-unit, and I'm a non-vet. I can give the vet the money and not live in the property and cash flow. Now, if now going back to that surviving spouse thing, I want to clean something up also. So the VA loan for surviving spouses, if I'm married and I pass away, my wife can use my VA loan. Now, I got a sad story for y'all that divorced your husband or wife that was a vet. Okay, if you gave him some poison and he died and you got away with it, you can't use this VA loan, Jack. It's only for surviving spouses. That means that you have to be married when he succumbed to death. Now, that's the only way that a surviving spouse can utilize that VA entitlement. The kid cannot use it, but the spouse can. The only way that the kid can get the VA loan is if the mom buys the property and the kid moves in. Surviving spouse. That means that the wife or the husband of the veteran, if you were married, then you can utilize it. Now, for you, Corey, if dad passed away, and he was married, then mama can use the VA home loan benefit. Now, if he's divorced, then nobody can use it. The benefit dies with him. Did I answer your question, bro?
Man, absolutely you did. And this is the last one, man. You got my wheels turning over here now, Anthony. That's why I'm asking all these questions, man. So, okay, 1.5 questions, man. Can you explain that to me one more time? So, in the event that I do take, I'm gonna get on this call with you and Bruno, but let's just say me and my daughter decide to buy an investment property with the VA loan out in California. Of course, man, I put the money down. I'm funding it. When it comes time to sell, how do I secure that I have access to the cash flow? Because I know you just said it, but I want to kind of get a little bit more detail about
Easy,
that.
easy day. Okay, two ways. Okay, all right. The easiest way is to entitle the property into a trust with mutual benefit. So if I buy the property and they say, "How do you want this to be entitled?" It could be Corey and what's your daughter's name?
Bree.
Corey and Bree's trust. So you sell the property, and then the trust has to divvy up the money in the event of a sale. The other way that you can do it is just put your name on title, okay, and have an agreement with your daughter. Look, I'm going to help you buy this property. I'm going to help you do the rehab because she can buy the property with zero money down, okay? But if you're giving her any money, or if you want to or help her mutually benefit, or she wants the courage to be able to buy the property based off of your currency acumen, then that means that She can buy the property and you can just say, I'm going to go on title with you and I'm going to give you this money for, I don't know, rehab down payment or whatever. And then in the event that she sells the property, since you're on title, both of you have to sign off on the distribution of the currency. Did I answer your question?
Man, you answered my question, man. Listen, man, this is a master class. When they say a master class, this is a master class. Last question, man. So my daughter is about to get the VA loan. For those that are going to capitalize on this VA loan, is the credit a little bit more lenient, or is this pretty much the same thing as a traditional loan?
Okay, so check this out. Bruno, are you there?
Absolutely.
What is the minimum credit score for a VA loan?
There is absolutely, positively no minimum credit score for the VA loan. So each lender can potentially have their own overlays, right? And that's where we come in to be able to find the lender that is going to help facilitate in accordance with what that person's credit score is.
Woo, man! I just want to make sure I heard that properly, man. Because I got two ears and one mouth for a reason. So what I heard him say is, with the VA loan, there is absolutely no minimum credit score, but you do have people like brokers that find lenders that will work in the flexibility of what you have, your financial makeup. Man, that's huge, man. I'm tapping in with y'all ASAP. I'm gonna buy me some properties in California, man. Who want to come stay with me? Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. Hey, I got a question real quick. So does this VA loan work? I know you guys said active or non-active. Does it work for Army Reserve?
Absolutely, brother. So remember we were talking earlier about when it comes to the reserve, it's the same thing except that the requirements of service changes a little bit, right? So for reserves, one more time, it's 6 years unless they have the accumulated points or the amount of days from them being activated. You know, that's oh wow.
I ain't got no fancy mic or none of that other stuff. You
I
know what
love
I'm
it.
Hey,
saying? But
Hey,
that sounds like a
California
California
clock
season
repping,
radio.
yo.
up in here,
My boy
baby.
repping.
Yeah.
You threw a clock radio on.
All right, man. So that's that. I wanted to play that California Love on my what do you call that? My iPod. I don't know if y'all remember that back in the day, or my cassette tape, Jack.
I got an
So
iPod, Jack. I got an iPod Touch, Jack.
so man, I'm telling you, man, Corey, thank you for all of those questions. Listen, y'all, if you guys have enjoyed this room, I want y'all to put a fire emoji in the chat right now, okay? Because we've been on fire. I know we've been cooking today, baby. I know beyond a reasonable doubt you guys learned something today. I want to send a shout out to Brother Jake, Miss Contreras, Tammy, my sister Tammy, man, what you doing down there chilling?
I'm
Samara,
just
Denver,
listening.
I see all of you guys, Pamela. Look, man, I'm telling y'all, when we break it down, when I tell you we break it all the way down. Listen, guys, you guys are in the winning. I'm sorry, Tammy. I apologize. I want to publicly apologize. Tammy done snuck up in here and done got on stage. This is my sister. Listen, y'all hear me speaking right now? Let me tell y'all a couple of people I want to acknowledge, okay? First and foremost, I want to acknowledge Jonathan Bing. Because if Jonathan Bing wouldn't have listened to me and kicked me down in the audience for running my mouth about the VA loan, we wouldn't have been able to acquire over 50,000 followers on Clubhouse collaboratively, and we wouldn't have had the Winning Real Estate Facebook group at all. So I want to acknowledge King Bing. He's not here right now. And I also want to acknowledge Tammy, because Tammy and Patrice and Dr. Ashley helped me learn how to moderate rooms. Okay. So before I got started, these three ladies, okay, help us grow this audience. Okay. So for those of you, I want to give a special shout out to them. So make sure you guys give them a follow. This is where we started. Then Otis taught us how to invest better. Okay. You catch where I'm going? And then Stack Pack put some flame on everything. And then 10K got me that awesome digital business card so you guys can find out where we are. Now, I want to give a special shout out to everyone. We really appreciate you guys pulling up. And Tammy, thank you for modding rooms and helping us mod rooms in the beginning, because what you've been able to do is you've been able to help us echo our voice for veterans. So thank you. Tammy, can you introduce yourself real quick?
I'm Tammy. I love to see people prosper, and I'm just here so I won't get fired. As a single. But
when you talked about multi units earlier and the benefit, and I think it was Corey going in with his daughter on the property, is there a limit to the amount of doors? And did you tell realtors how they can partner with you? Those are all my questions. Go.
Yes. Okay. So the first thing is that let me put this up here at the top. Go to link. Okay. So a couple of things. Okay, 5 units for you guys to in order to do your 5 units. It's a total of 5 units that you guys could do in regard to the VA home loan benefit for partnering. So no more than 5 units. The only problem is that it has to be zoned for residential. 5 units or more is typically considered commercial, but typically you'll have residential property that added a business unit, okay, and then it's still residential property, okay. So a total of 5 units, and then guess what, guys? If you want to partner with us, support us. That's the best way. We do have the Winning Real Estate Facebook group. Let me, Dr. Ashley, are you with us? Dr.
Hey,
Ashley.
Anthony.
Okay, who's that? Hey, Anthony, who's that?
Hey, that was Roderick. Anthony, how you doing?
What's up, Roderick? What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Hey, out of sight, out of mind. Just want to just give you obviously your flowers while you can receive them. I just to kind of give some I guess some currency to the table to the platform today. I just closed on a 3-family using my VA loan for the second time. Using the strategy we talked about, I was thinking about this past summer when it was in last spring. Actually, you gave me some game, and now my question is today. Now that I have a 4-plex and a 3-plex, how do I? And I get it might be a strategy call. I don't know, but I gotta ask anyway. How do I come out of the 2 VA loans now to do it again? Uh, but no, but I followed the not the birth strategy, the Earl strategy you taught me last. I want to say this summer, but I think it was the spring to be honest, like back in March or April.
Now hold
But
on, Roger. Now watch this. Watch this, y'all. You're listening to someone that got, for those of you that are sitting in the audience, you're listening to a real person that listened to us in this room, got an investment property, utilized his second VA loan to buy a multi-unit, and now he's looking to advance for other units. You
in
guys
the
got
Army,
to
in the Army
it.
National Guard.
Oh man, I can't help you, man. You're gonna have to. I don't know. We don't want to help no Army people, man. No more Army people, man. We need to help some Marines. No, I'm joking.
Boo.
But Roderick, man, hey, y'all,
All right, be careful with that.
can y'all give Roderick a congratulations right now? Can y'all give him a heart emoji in the chat to say congratulations to brother Roderick for getting the bag?
Congratulations.
Now,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
now, Roderick, are you a single man?
Single man, I am. Yes.
Man,
27.
ladies, y'all better jump. Hey, he got these. Hey, y'all better get up on Roderick, man, and get the bag, y'all. He out here getting these properties on y'all, man. No, I'm joking. I'm messing around. But congratulations, Roderick, brother. I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. We are proud of you to see excellence, service member, minority out here getting properties. Every last one of you can do the exact same thing if you are listening to the words that are coming out of our mouth. We want you to win, okay? Now, Tammy, to answer your question, how do you connect with us? All right. Click the little digital business. Ashley, can you take us on a field trip? You do it the best. Dr. Ashley, can you take us on a field trip, please?
Hey y'all, sorry I missed your call earlier, Anthony. I am with my makeup artist, Domalee. Say hey, Domalee.
Hi.
She is getting me ready. I'm being honored at an event tonight, but I am here to support the Winning Real Estate Club. Shout out to everyone in the room, as well as our 422 winners who came in the room. Now, while I am speaking and giving you a quick little tour on our field trip, I need 10 more shares to reach our 100 goal. And I know we can do that. So if 10 of you can please hit that arrow at the bottom of your screen and share this room on Clubhouse. And don't forget, if you share on Twitter, if you share on Facebook, that count as well. So please, please, please take a moment, 9 more people to share the room right now. So do me a favor, now that you can hear me and you're ready to tap all the way in. So put a number 1 in the chat if you're ready to go on a field trip with me. Awesome, awesome. Otis can hear me. Is Otis the only person that can hear me? Pamela can hear me. Graham. Okay, perfect. I was starting to wonder if my app was working. So please do me a favor. Once you're ready to go on a field trip, put a number 1 in the chat. And then click the link at the top of the screen that says Mr. Anthony Glenn, the second right there with his photo. Click that and click go to link. When you click go to link, this is the field trip that I'm taking you on with me, and you will see his 10K card. Shout out to 10K in the building. You'll see Anthony's 10K card, and you're going to see on the second tab, it's going to say join our Facebook group. Do me a favor, click that link. Join the Facebook group right now in this moment. That's how you interact with Sierra, Bruno, Ian, Anthony, and the full team in between Clubhouse sessions. So make sure you join the group. That's where you get your questions answered. That's where you get all the updates of upcoming webinars, courses, sessions, resources, and all the things. While you're there, you can also connect with them on TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe to their podcast on the YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you want to get connected with them, you can also contact them as well. Thank you all so much for being a part of the room today. Let's get 3 more people to share the room, and we will hit that 100 goal of 100 shares in the Winning Real Estate Club. Hit the house at the top, become a member as well. Passing it back to you.
Outstanding, man. And then and I appreciate you, Dr. Ashley, for that magnificent reset on the Marine Corps' birthday. Hoorah. Okay, we need 2 more people for shares. Now, who has questions so far? Anybody have any questions before we're gonna go through the rehab loan really quick because a construction loan took a long time, but we're gonna go through that in like 10 minutes. Okay, so
I got
stay
another
tuned.
one.
Who's that?
That's Tammy. So
Go ahead, go ahead.
you said the 5 doors have to be considered residential. So can you buy 5 residential properties that are in a portfolio?
Okay, so to answer the question, Tammy, it's 4 owner occupant units and 1 business unit for a total of 5. If you have 5 residential units and you don't have one that is permitted as a business, then you can't buy it because that's typically zoned as commercial. The only way you can buy okay, so imagine I bought a fourplex and then I added a ADU or something that was not an ADU, but I added an extra structure that was a business, right? So imagine I had like a fourplex and then I added another structure for a donut shop, but it's zoned as residential. I can buy that property. A lot of people do that. Or I have a multi-unit that's residential, and I use my VA loan to knock it down. I live in a unit, and I wanted to do assisted living facility, and then I added another unit that was cash producing. You could totally do that, and that's a residential property. That's a business. So it's multiple ways that you could do it, but it's 4 owner occupant units and 1 business unit. But you can utilize that. And Roger, I haven't forgot you. I'm gonna answer your question. So if I buy a multi-unit, I lived in the unit, I moved out. Boom. I owner occupied that unit, and I wanted to buy. I had VA entitlement left. Let's just say that multi-unit was $200,000, and I bought it in North Carolina, a fourplex, and I moved to California. Now that second unit that I buy, let's just say that when you buy that second unit, there's a limit on what you can buy, a cap. So let's just say I had $400,000 left on my VA entitlement for my second use. Then I can knock down another 4 unit and add a business unit, and then hit Corey up and say, Corey, I want to borrow $100,000. I'm gonna make you have equitable interest in the property, and then he's gonna give me the $100,000 to build ADU or whatever. Then now I got a 5 unit that's cash producing, and then once I do that improvement, if the property went up in value, and I had $400,000 left, and the property is $410,000. That's $10,000 difference of what I have left on my entitlement. I have to bring in 25% of $10,000. So if you use your second entitlement, okay, and you have a certain amount left, anything over that amount is not dollar for dollar. It's 25% of the difference. So if I wanted to buy a $400,000 property, and I wanted to buy a $500,000 property, and I have $400,000 left, I would have to bring in 25% of the $100,000 over. How do I get that? Corey gives me the cash to pay the difference. And then now he has equitable interest, and then I don't have to bring any money down. So there's so many ways that you can knock down a VA loan and buy multiple properties. And then Roderick, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put our Winning Real Estate Google page up, and then just schedule a strategy call with us, and then we'll help you get those, because you got a property, you have two properties, and the one you have a triplex, and then now we're going to help you get to that fourth, fifth, sixth door. Okay, I got you, bro.
I have a quick question, Anthony. Thank you again for providing so many gems. My question is, so I did what you said. Actually, when you said it, I hit my cousin up, who's a veteran. I said, "Hey, have you used your VA loan?" She said, "No." I said, "Would you be interested in partnering up and doing a joint venture? You know, if I can help with some capital?" And she said, "Yeah, let's do it." So, I'm gathering the information here. Now she lives in Tennessee and I live in Texas. How will we be able to do that play? And do we have to do it in Tennessee if she's willing to say it's a second home, or use it as a second home in Texas?
Tony, we can't hear you.
Y'all can't hear me?
No, we
Can y'all
can
hear me
hear
now?
you.
We can hear you
Yep.
now.
Oh, I'm goofy, man. I've been talking with my mic off. All right. Here's the deal. Okay. So she lives where?
She lives in Tennessee and I live in Texas.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'm gonna ask you guys to do. I put the Win in Real Estate Google page in the chat at the top. I'm going to respectfully ask you today on the 247th birthday to click on that Google page and leave us a positive review. Okay, don't be leaving no 4-star reviews because we're teaching today. There's 80 people here right now. I would love for you guys to, if you learned something today, hit that Google page and then give us a positive review right now. I would really appreciate that. On my birthday, I'd like to see at least 10 reviews for today's game today. It was free, but I'm going to give you some game if you leave me a positive review. Is that good? All right, here we go.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. All right, so now what we're going to do is, since that veteran lives in Texas, you don't have to live there. Okay, she has to live there. The veteran has to live there. She's buying in Texas. She uses her entitlement. You knock down the property
I'm
in
in
Texas.
Texas. I'm in Texas.
Okay.
She's in
Oh,
Tennessee.
okay, where she has to buy in Tennessee unless she has a transferable job, because the veteran, she's the vet. Okay, you can't invest in Texas with her unless she intends to move to Texas. And the only way that she can intend to move to Texas is that the only way that she can move there is if she has a job that's certified that she can draw income there. Okay, she has to live in the property in order for you to do a JV deal with her. So if you're trying to you should invest in you would have to invest in Tennessee. Now, if she's a contractor, and let's just say she had a drop shipping business, and she can get money from anywhere, as long as she can explain to the person that's lending the money that she can plans or intends to live in that property in Texas, that you can buy it. But if she doesn't live in Texas, she's not going to be able to invest in Texas. Or if she's not moving there, she's not going to be able to buy there. However, you can invest with her in Tennessee. You buy a multi-unit in Tennessee, and guess what? Texas is a state that doesn't allow cash out refinances. But you can do the only loan, one of the loans that you can do is a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit to pull money out. But Texas is kind of strange with investing. It's good investment areas to cash flow, but they're not that easy on cash out refinances. But I would look in Tennessee and see if you can get something there. Did I answer your question?
Yes, and pretty much the play once we go ahead and get the property is to take the equity out and use that towards another investment, correct?
There you go. Right. So you can utilize the home equity line of credit, which is an investment strategy that you will take a secondary loan out of the equity position of the property and invest in other assets. So you could totally do that. So let's just say she had 200,000 equity in her property. You did a home equity line of credit that you borrow that money and then invest in other assets. But she can buy that property at 100% financing, and you can give her the money for the rehab to do the joint venture. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. And I'm on here now. Give me a 5-star review. Thank you so much.
Outstanding. Guys, guess what? We have reached 105 winners in real estate that serve the community with us today. 552 visitors to the club today. Man, this has been a fire room. What did you guys think, man? Ian, Sierra, Kyler, Jake, 10K, Ashley, Fashawn, Roderick, Tammy, Samara, Gwen. What did you guys think about today's room?
Hey y'all, like there's so much value that you got out of today's room. So I hope y'all were taking notes. The straight up, just the knowledge you received today could change your life. So I really hope you guys could follow us on the room and take notes, and then do back to us and share your story about how we helped you out. Thank you very much.
Everything was great as always. Always learning, always sharing, and as Anthony said, sharing is caring. So the things I learned in this group, I passed to other veterans in the Guard and Reserve because it's a hidden gem in that component. But anyone that just I always channel them. I share the group all the time. So again, great work, team. I greatly appreciate the knowledge and the care that you all give to veterans like myself in the Guard and Reserve specifically, because that's my lane, but to veterans of all components. Thank you.
Now, breaking news. Guess what, y'all? Today is the Marine Corps' birthday today. And also, we are launching our Win in Real Estate mentoring and coaching platform. If you are a real estate professional and you're in the room right now, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, I want to see. If you're a real estate professional, put a 1 in the chat. We're looking for a few good real estate professionals that's looking to scale their business. Here's what you get, okay? The Win in Real Estate, we're going to teach agents how to become 6 to 8 figure agents, okay? Ian started with us 2 years ago, making $40,000. He makes 6 figures now, and he has 8 doors, okay? We're going to teach you guys how to build your business around veterans, too, with our Brand Ambassador course. We started this course, Brand Ambassador course, Veteran Homeowners Club, specifically to look for agents that want to get leads from our clubhouse room, and then also get leads from our Win in Real Estate Club. So if you're interested in that, click on the link at the top, go to the website and register, or ask us a question about that. There's 2 courses: the Brand Ambassador course, which is sponsored by the Veteran Homeowners Club. That's our nonprofit organization, and basically what we do is we teach you how to learn about the VA loans and scale that business nationally. And that gives you access to our Facebook group and our Clubhouse group to get leads. The second thing that we have is our Win in Real Estate mentoring and coaching platform to build your business around veterans and how to become a killer agent out here and rock it like we do, okay? The recession-proof niche is veterans. They don't get fired. They get money. They get paid on the 1st and the 15th. And if you want to help and serve veterans, sign up for that course. And then also, guys, we're going to be rocking and rolling and talk about the VA rehab loan, and then we're going to be done. So we're going to go in 10 more minutes. Here, VA rehab loan, okay? Are y'all ready to learn about the VA rehab loan? This is the last piece, and then we're done for today. All right. The VA rehabilitation loan is basically, I buy a distressed property. Let me give you an example, okay? So put this in the chat, and then we're going to be finished. VA rehab loan is, okay, you buy the property at $200,000, okay? The property is worth $250,000, okay? You do the rehab, the VA loan will allow you to acquire that property, same qualification structure. You find a VA construction person. The scope of work, which is the rehab cost, gets sent to escrow, which has the money. The VA will allow you to rehab that property, and basically what happens is that the construction person is The equity position is what they will use to rehab the property. So that means I got $50,000 into the of equity position and the after repair value of that property. The VA will allow you to invoice the construction person and do the rehab, and then at closing, you will have a rehab property. So let's just say the property needed flooring, heating, plumbing, heating, and air fixtures, and then also that property wanted to do a kitchen rehab. If you got that property and it was distressed, let's just say that the after repair value is going to be $300,000. So you got $100,000 of equity, right? The construction amount that you can use to rehab that property is up to $50,000. Some lenders will allow you to do more, but in the VA handbook it says up to 50 grand. But lenders will sometimes extend a little bit more money for you to do that. That's basically what the VA construction loan is. The only thing the rehab loan does not allow you to do is that the VA rehab loan doesn't allow you to fix structural items. So if it's a health and safety item like a damaged structure or something like that, they won't allow you to do that. But if it's cosmetic stuff like painting, flooring, new plumbing, heating, air, electrical, stuff like that, then the VA will allow you to rehab that property to get it. So if you bought a distressed property and you put $50,000 in it to rehab it, and then you had after repair value is $200,000 more, then after 210 days, you can use that money to do a 100% cash out refinance to buy another asset. That is the VA rehabilitation loan explained. Woo, man.
Anthony, question.
I have an answer.
If the say if a veteran already owns the property and they've owned it for years and they didn't purchase it with a VA loan, how can they tap into any resources to fix up or repair or rehab their property that they already own? Is there programs for that?
So you got a property that's distressed right now.
Yes. I
Do
know
you live in?
he needs plumbing for sure. In the property, it's a veteran. He needs plumbing work done. Like he's it's a family and he's owned the property for years. But he's never used any of the veteran monies or anything. Never bought a additional property with or anything.
Okay, all right. So where is the property located?
It's in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, he's the vet? Who is this?
Yes, he's the vet.
Who is he to you in relation to you?
He's my uncle.
Okay, so Uncle Bojack, we're gonna call him Uncle Bojack for instructional purposes only. All right. He
Okay.
he has he has a house that he's living in. He didn't use his VA loan. He could get the VA loan on that property, relinquish the lien on the property or the monetary obligation from the loan that he has right now, and then the construction. I have Win in Real Estate Construction LLC. Okay, I registered through the VA to become a certified VA construction person, and then I can rehab that property up to $50,000 of improvements and utilize the VA home loan benefit. And then essentially what will happen is that the old loan would get paid off. You would finance the amount. Let's just say that you had 100,000. The house is going to be $100,000 after improving the property. Okay, so they would subtract that $50,000. The contractor would submit the invoices to escrow, okay, which is the bank, like a holding bank, and then basically after the loan closes, then you would you would close by paying out the contractor, and then whatever the amount of the actual property is worth, that's what the loan amount would be. Does that make sense? So here's an example. Okay, the loan that he has is $50,000. The property is worth $200,000. So the difference between $200,000 and $50,000 is 150, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So add the rehab cost to $50,000. So he owes $50,000. Add the rehab cost of $50,000.
Okay.
$100,000, correct?
Hmm.
Okay. So, but the property is worth $200,000. So how much equity do I have? $100,000. There you go. So now when I close, now you're going to add the fees and the closing costs and all of that mumbo jumbo, right? So let's just say that the loan amount that he gets is $170,000. So he has how much equity? $30,000. So now, let's just say that he lived in the house for a year and the property went up to $250,000 and he paid down what he owed because he's making his monthly payments. So whatever that property increases in value once he does his, if he did a cash out refinance, then he can take that $30,000 plus that extra $50,000 that his house improved, and then he can use that money to invest in another asset. That is how you win in real estate with the VA loan. Did I answer your question?
Yes, and this applies to a property that's free and clear as well.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. You don't own no payments or loans or anything on it, so he needs to.
So watch this. If that property is worth $100,000 and then he used the VA loan to do improvements, and he did $50,000 of rehab costs, and you added all of the fees, and it's worth, let's just say $80,000, and the house is worth $300,000. I mean, he makes payments on that $85,000 loan now, which is what? $80,000 loan, and today's interest rate is probably like around, I don't know, $600 a month, $500 a month, something crazy like that. And then now he's got all of that equity position in his house. So he lives in it and he says, all right, you know what? I see a house in Milwaukee that I want to buy. I'm going to take that 50 grand out of my house. I'm going to buy this property cash. I buy the property in Milwaukee. I'm getting $1,250 a month for that property. He's getting 30% return on his money, that $50,000 asset that he cashed.
That's good. Got it. Got it. I know how to explain it to him.
All right, Anthony. This is Tammy. So, when you do, let's say you do Carissa's uncle, the construction company does her renovations. Do you partner with a contractor that's in Detroit, or how does that go?
I partner with a contractor that's local, okay?
Okay.
Because
So
they're low.
I have Aisha Denson of Denson Construction. She's in Detroit, trusted and vetted. So I'll have her contact you so she can always be your go-to in Detroit if you need her. And if
Thank
And I
you.
yeah,
second that. And I second whatever Tammy tells me. I mean, she's legit. She's vetted. Okay. So I vet that. Typically we don't do any referrals here unless they've been vetted. Tammy's vetted. Okay. So, but here's the deal. I want you to get on a strategy call with us so you can get out here and learn how to win. Okay. Guys, we're teaching this stuff for free on the app. But if you got a roadmap and you want something and you want to learn something, follow the main moderators and join the Facebook group. I put the Win in Real Estate Google page up there. Guys, please, if you enjoyed what we were talking about today, we just opened this Google page. Please just put a referral in there and just put Win in Real Estate and just put one thing that you learned today. We currently have 76 people here. All we're asking for is some digital currency. We've been going since 9. It's 11:40 right now on the Marine Corps birthday. You guys learn a lot of game. You learn how to do the VA construction loan from beginning to end. And you also learn how to do the VA rehab loan. We're going to be coming to a theater near you on Tuesday, Pacific Standard Time next week. And we'll be kicking it and talking about topics like this. We're going to dive deep into the credit and bankruptcy and foreclosure. We're utilizing the VA home loan benefit. Okay, so this has been a magnificent room. Our goal was 100 shares. We got to 108. Our goal was 300. And guess what? We have reached 472 people, winners in the Win in Real Estate Club. Guys, we are done. Does anybody have any questions before we shut down the room today?
I got one.
Hey, Anthony or
Yeah, I
Want
Ann.
do.
to know how I can schedule the roadmap strategy?
Okay, so I heard who's asked for the roadmap?
This is
Was that
Laverne.
Laverne? Absolutely, you can get a roadmap, sister. Okay,
What's
I'm
your
gonna leave this. Stay up here, okay, and then while people are asking questions, I'm gonna put the link back up there so you can get on a strategy call with us. And listen, if you are a real estate professional and you are trying to kill it with the VA loan and become a brand ambassador, right now I wrote down there's been 11 people that we have served today. Guess what? That property that Roderick bought, you could have been a real estate professional that's representing him. That property or the mortgage professional that Carisi is in here, if you would have went through our course, you would have been getting that lead to help her do the loan portion. So guys, if you're interested in growing your business around veterans, we had 11 people, 11 leads today from this room. 11. Okay, Corey is one of them. Okay, his sister's out here in California. We got realtors in California, but we can only sell in California, but we can serve nationally. And if you want that information, people that are getting strategy calls are getting financed. We can do the money portion, but we can't do the real estate portion. We refer it to people like my sister Tammy, where she's located at. So if you're interested in that, okay, get on the strategy call with us. Sign up for the course to become a winning real estate brand or a brand ambassador through our Veteran Homeowners Club. Okay, Laverne, I got you. I'll put that link up at the top. I'm gonna leave it up there, and I'm gonna take it down in about a minute. Please click that link at the top right now and leave a positive review for us. We would really appreciate it. All of you that have got game today, the only way we'll be able to grow our audience is if you want us to help. If you want help from us, help us grow. Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
Anthony,
Yeah,
are you
I
and
do, Anthony.
Ian
Yes, I have a
available to call me right
question.
after? Can one of y'all
Okay.
call
So
me right after the session, Anthony or Ian? One of y'all. Thanks.
yes, Ashley, I got you. We're gonna call you right after this. Who said I had a
Roderick.
Hi, no,
which?
Christine.
Okay, Roger and Christine. Okay, so we'll go to the lady and then Roger will go to you, but we're gonna yield for the lady. What you got, sister?
Thank you so much, Anthony. My question is that, okay, if you're in bankruptcy, you at the end of your bankruptcy, you have two properties, and you have a buyer for the first property. Um, it doesn't cover the cost that you owe to the trustee.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on, Ian, are you there? Ian.
Yes, sir. Still here.
Okay, Ian, look in the chat, please, and answer the questions in the chat. If you're in the chat and you're asking questions, Ian will handle that. Okay, Ian or Sierra will handle the questions in the chat. Go through the chat because there's a lot of questions right now. Okay, but go ahead. There's an address in the chat too. Somebody's asking a question. I want to make sure she gets served. But answer your question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, thanks. Thank you so much. Yes, just for a little clarification and maybe some help here, if you can. There are two properties. We're currently in bankruptcy. At the end of the bankruptcy, so we have a buyer for one of the properties, which is 575. Still not enough to owe the trustee to close out the bankruptcy. Second property is for 350, has not sold yet. We only short $30,000, and the closing is December 1st. $30,000 has to come from the second property. Second property has not sold yet. So what are we to do?
Okay, all right. So you need to jump on a strategy call, like right after I hang up. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because right now we cannot unpack that situation, but you got a short amount of time before the property, before you lose the property. Now, you didn't hear this from me, okay? But if somebody has equitable interest in both of those properties, you might want to write down something and have them go to the city and then file a lien against both of those properties, someone that doesn't have a direct. Now, for full disclosure, I'm not a CPA or enrolled agent, and I'm not telling you to do anything. This is just for it. This is just for instructional purposes only. If somebody besides the bank has interest in that property, then they cannot sell it. Okay. All right. Now, the banks will help you if you communicate with the banks and you tell them that you're trying to do something. They got to go on record for that. All you got to do is call them and say, listen, we're in bankruptcy, we don't want to lose these properties, what can we do right now? And go on record. Don't talk to the clerk, okay, because they don't know what they're doing. You need to talk to a supervisor, and then the message will be recorded, okay? But I'm telling you, if you're trying to slow down that process, you might want to look at two things. Number one, finding someone that puts a lis pendens on that property, okay, or lien on that property, slow it down before it could get sold, okay, because they got to clear that or communicate with that person outside of your family, hint, hint, before transferring ownership of that property. They got to settle that, okay? And then the second thing is, I was specifically we need to figure out, okay, why that property is not selling. And then also you have a lot of investors on Clubhouse that might, get the property, buy the property if it makes sense. You got investors here right now. The Ian is an investor. Luis is an investor. Where's the property at? I mean, I could write a check for $30,000, but it needs to
Yeah,
make sense. It needs to make sense for me, and I can tell you got stress in your voice. I can hear it. Okay. All right. So we need to set up a strategy call with us. Get all of the players that have equitable interests. I don't want to just talk to one person. Whoever's on title, okay, to save you some time and money. Don't get on the call with me, and I don't have all of the players, because then you're gonna be wasting time. I need to know where's the property located, how much you owe on it, what is the situation, when are they taking the property, and all of that stuff. Okay, all right. So
okay.
you need to jump on a strategy call with us, and then and book that. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I gave you like 75% of what you could do, but you got seller financing where you could get an investor. The investor could say, hey, I'll give you this much so you don't lose the property and make some type of money. But it all depends on how much the property is and what it's worth to see if it makes sense. But you're against the clock, so you need to do something ASAP. Okay. Get back channel Ian, and he'll get you on my schedule to do a strategy call. Okay.
All righty.
Okay. Any other questions? Who had questions?
It was
Me.
Roger.
Oh, Roderick had one.
Okay, Roger, what you got, brother?
Hey, so check this out. I'll be brief. So I got a elderly guy that has a portfolio of about 60 properties. He's trying to liquidate, but he has one particular I'm interested in. It's a duplex on like 6 acres. But on that 6 acres with the duplex, he has like 12 trailers on it. But he lotted the land out to accommodate each trailer. They have their own address, a lot in block. Is there any way that I could, structure maybe a land deal that encompasses all of the properties on it, or should I just buy the duplex itself and then roll all the trailers into it? I don't know.
We need to get you need to get on my calendar, brother. I'm not gonna be able to unpack it, and
Okay,
I'm 48 minutes over my time.
got you. Okay,
Okay,
easy.
Roger, just get up. You know we got you. Just get up with
Okay,
us. We already helped you get a couple of properties, so now we'll help you through this one as well. Okay.
okay, great.
Okay. Who else? Who else has a question?
I just wanted to know what we do about getting you as a requirement on all military installations. So if that when that does happen, let me stop saying if when that does happen, so will you just use realtors, the realtors that you vetted and connected with, and then they train and do the curriculum that way? Like say if it was in Florida or Texas or somewhere else, or would you guys come and train and do that? How does that go?
How the brand ambassador works is that you go through our training, and then you get access to our information. And then once you do that, we will help you get into, after you go through our training, you'll be in position to build what we built. Okay. But then the coolest thing is that we're building a community to where you can put your referrals in there, and then we vet to make sure you get the right person. But the cool thing about it is that after you do that, after you become a brand ambassador, it's like it's recycled. Like right now we got 27 referrals in North Carolina. We have 6 approvals in Washington. We have 2 approvals in Colorado. We have 1 in Hawaii. We have 3 in Florida right now. I'm looking at the list. We got 2 in Texas. We have 16 here. So you get the referral based business. So if you go in our Winning Real Estate Facebook group, you'll see North Carolina. We just sent out 2. One lady, her name is Miss Dixon. She got a pre-approval for 460, and then also we're already certified to be on base on all installations. We just got to go out there and make the connection so you don't mess it up. Okay,
Yeah,
so
see, that's the part I was interested in, making sure is your face and somebody is not misinterpreting information. Like you're like, say if the VA gave me classroom space, when the VA give me classroom space and they say, okay, you can teach military mortgage group on this day, I would just want it to be where you're standing in front of a screen simulcasting it, and it's like it's
that's
a
exactly
live feed.
that's a that's a
That's what I would want. So
that's exactly what we do. Okay,
okay.
so in the event that you wanted to bring us, me, or our staff out, we will either do it one or two ways. We would do it virtually for you. Okay, if you go through once you go through the brand ambassador course, or we'll come fly out and teach it with you. It's and like I said, the biggest thing that the reason why it took us so long to get where we were at is because we were doing it on our own. But now, since what we're looking for is partnerships to where we can be in complementary and collaborate with you to contribute to your business as well. We both eat. You eat, we eat, but then you're utilizing our brand and our training to make sure you're doing it the correct way. So you're not just focused on the money and you're assisting veterans get into homes. So that's the reason why we did this. And then now we're opening up the visor and just teaching. So you guys know, like, you guys could kill it in veteran business. And look, during the recession, we still got closings. I'm delivering keys today. We just talked on base to how many, Ian, yesterday, how many veterans did we talk to? Was it yesterday or the day before?
Day
Yesterday,
before,
day
it
before.
was like 50 veterans or 50 active duty people that were all, in dire need of the information. It was really rewarding classes, actually.
Okay, so we were in front of 50 veterans. Think about that. Once those people leave, I mean, we're able to do that. We teach the class, all of that business is yours. So, you just got to go through the brand ambassador course to make sure you're teaching it right. And then it just needs to be mutually beneficial. The
Okay.
veteran is the most important thing. The money we don't care about, okay? Because if you want money, that's transactional. But if you are helping a veteran and you're negotiating like we negotiating and you're echoing, we cannot build this thing nationally. We got to have a few good real estate professionals that we can trust, that we can go through our brand ambassador course, get certified, and then now they're an extension of what we do. Okay. So Tammy, let's connect and we'll talk about it offline. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Hmm.
Anybody else? Anybody else have any questions or any comments to add to the conversation that we just had? Man, we killed it today, man. This is a really crazy room, man. This is crazy. Okay, 495 people here, 72 people here. Click the Win in Real Estate Mentorship Program right now, and that's how you can connect with us. You'll see the courses. If you're interested in that, ask us a question. We'll get you on our calendar, okay? And then actually we'll help you win in real estate with the VA loan. Thank you very much. Just make sure you follow all of the moderators that are here today. And then listen, y'all, go crush it today. Go be great, okay? Thank you.